Hello and welcome to BROKAKAKA. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
I'm Schroder.
Yay! Hello.
How'd I do?
Welcome.
Great.
I got goosebumps.
Uh, yeah, you're in the top. You're in the top. How many of these have we done?
I don't know. We've done maybe like 5 or 6.
I've been done more than
Oh.
6. I feel.
All I know is that
Um,
after Aeon Star and Permella went on, I begged you guys on Twitter for like a month, like, hey, not even a month, like a couple months, like, hey, I'm just saying, I'm out here.
I'm
Yeah,
glad you
now
did.
we're here.
Yeah, now we're
Yeah.
here.
Now we're here, we're having a good time. We're having a great time.
So Schroder, what do you do online?
I talk about anime on the internet a lot, like you guys, but the difference is that you guys, like, make it a show. In all seriousness, I do fandub content. I'm doing a project called Project SBR, which you can check
Hell yeah.
check out. I don't know if you're doing like links in the description.
Oh, of
but-
course, yeah.
Okay, well, links in the description if you want to check it out. Other than that, I make some JoJo content, and yeah, that's about it for now. Yeah.
Ooh, we have some fun things on the horizon maybe brewing. We'll see.
I'd have to come up with it first.
Do you want to talk a bit about Project SBR? Because that is the thing that I think I'm the most familiar with that you've done. That is pretty rad, actually.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a very fun project, and it's a fandom that I'm really proud of. And I don't know when this is going up, but odds are that we just started or we're about to start Volume 2 of Steel Ball Run by the time this goes up. So this is like really good promo material. I didn't even
Yeah.
realize.
Oh, hell yeah,
All
great.
works out.
So I'm gonna be honest. I've only checked out like the first episode, just because I'm terrible at keeping up with content online. But I was really blown away by how much effort was put into this. So it's a Steel Ball Run fan dub, but there's more to it. There's like really good
Yeah.
editing. There's really good sound design, and like, just it really feels like a very high profile production. Of just want to say like very impressed.
Yeah, it's I made the project so that it was built for efficiency. I noticed that like a lot of fandubs, like I did some digging before I came up like with the project because I knew that I wanted to do a fandub, but I didn't want to do like 3 episodes and then stop. And I looked into it, and like a lot of reason fandubs fail is because like too much people pile on a lot of work. The scope is way too big or something like that. Then again,
Yeah.
I'm out here saying I'm gonna do all of Part 7 eventually, but so what I did is I got editors, I got people who wanted to do it. I'm not paying them because I'm not making money off of it. So every day I go into the Discord and like I'm like, hey guys, so who's on like who's editing like these pages? Who's doing the sound design for these pages? And I'm like, I have no money, but like I'm so glad you guys are doing this for free because I feel like a villain right now.
They jump into the holes like you're making like an abridged series, but without like the anime company breathing down your neck at least.
Oh yeah. It's other than that, it really does come together. We make most of the episodes, aside from episode 1 and episode 5. Most of the episodes take about like a week to make, and it's
Oh wow.
it's we're
Crazy.
we're a well-oiled machine. It's and like I'd be nothing without like the visual editing team. Most of the time, like I do the sound effects by myself, but I do have a couple other people helping out with that. And the voice actors, oh my god, I wouldn't be anywhere without them. So,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you like about the voice actors. How like did you like reach out? Did you have like audition or something, or did you like on like Twitter?
So we're doing the project on a volume to volume basis. Basically, if we're starting a volume, we gotta finish the volume. That's how I'm handling the scope thing. So how I'm handling it is that I will put up an audition page on a website called castingclub.com, a casting call club, and it will have all the roles for that volume, and then people just audition, and then I pretend like I know what I'm doing when I like call them back for a callback, and I'm like, yeah, so can you read the line but like better this time? It's great. For Diego Brando, not many people know this, but we got River Dude covers. He's gonna be
Oh, nice.
he's an anime guy, so everybody knows him.
Yeah, that's a name I've heard before.
Yeah, it's a really fun audition process. And hey, I mean, you guys have decent microphones. If you want to voice background extra number 5,
I'll throw my hat in as Pork Pie Hat Kid.
Pork Pie Hat Kid. All right, well, wait. He comes in like what, volume 5? Yeah, you got some time.
I would love. I know this is like such an unprofessional way of requesting something like this because we're just like on air. But I would love if Sam and I could just do like 2 little background characters. If there's ever any 2 background characters that just like talk,
no, all the time.
That would be so funny. I think
the background
just find,
characters.
Monster Civilian number 2, like
No,
who
background
walks in on a
characters are
horrible
actually
stand.
very interesting. Now that you mention it, a big thing with them is that when it comes to having a background character, I usually have this cast of extra VAs who aren't like in a role. And literally when we're making an episode, I like look at all the lines that are like, this doesn't have like a distinguished character behind it. And I like ask them like, hey, who can do this character? And the thing is that I think we're low on them because most of them don't really respond. It's not really a priority for them. And I don't expect it to be a priority for them. And if you listen to a couple of the episodes, like there are multiple characters in the same episode where I'm just going in there like, hey, what's going on with the steel ball? Yeah, what's going on with the steel ball there? Because I'm just such a good voice actor. Let me just say that out of the gates.
Humble brag.
Humble brag. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before I'm the official voice actor for something. Give it like 80 years.
Yeah, when they animate part 7, you can be every civilian voice in there and save them.
Yeah, no,
the trouble in the
but if you guys want to be like, if I ever see like a duo of characters, I know who to call up now.
I would absolutely love that. I think that'd be so funny. I mean, I was really tempted to audition when I saw, because I remember when you originally put the casting call out, I was like, oh, that'd be really fun to be part of the project. But I feel like I'm not really a voice actor or have any sort of experience in it. So I'd feel weird about auditioning for like a proper character.
Well, it's interesting because I feel like there's only one voice actor involved with the project who knows what they're doing. I'd like to think...
You got Johnny Young Bosch, right?
Yes. No.
Oh, shit.
I'm kidding.
We got it's a learning experience for everybody, and that's my favorite part. Like, even right now, there are so many things I learned from doing the first volume that I want to improve in the second volume. And it's gonna be interesting. Wow, this is just this biggest shameless plug. Can we let's talk about... Oh,
that's
okay,
why
we're
you're
still
here,
going.
Honestly.
Okay, all right.
It's always the shill your stuff as hard
I'm
as you
shilling.
can.
I'm shilling as hard as I can, and we're still going.
It's so cool to me to hear about this because like you are the proper director, right? Like you're the one that's organizing all of this. Like, and I just think it's really interesting, and I think I would kind of like to pivot and ask like, why? Like, why did you decide to do this? Do you have a background in sort of like organizational work or like fan work or?
You just really love part 7.
Let me give you the literal life story right now. Very, very brief though. I'm fucking nobody, and
don't say that.
No, I will because here's the thing. I was a part of the community since like 2015. I only know is that I started watching JoJo like when Dio's World was airing.
Mm-hmm.
I literally
You started around the same time I did.
Yeah,
like
I
close.
saw a Road Roller meme on, I think, no, I wasn't on Twitter back then. I don't even remember what platform. I saw a Road Roller meme and I'm like, well, now I gotta watch it.
That's stupid. I watch it.
Yeah. And since then, like, I've done a lot of things. I tried doing YouTube a little bit. I don't have any intention on... Like, I hit 10k subs. That was my only goal. I have no desire to hit 100k. That's the thing. Because I'm a game developer. I have, like, a personal life, and this is just, like, a side thing.
Oh, wow. That's really super interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. And then what ended up happening was that I just liked JoJo a lot, and then I was like, all right, I want to do something with this series, and I tried a couple things. I got... Shuckmeister and I did a tier list series because I asked him once politely. No, I said like, "Hey Shuck, you should like you're the JoJo ranker. You should do like this video series where you rank every JoJo stand." And he goes, "Okay, cool. Want to do it with me?" I'm like, "I do. Who? What? Cool. Like
only Shuck.
I owe a lot to him. I owe a lot to him.
That's sick.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like one thing that and this is something that Sam and I have personally noticed because, I mean, we're a pretty small channel. Right now, we're only at like 4K subs, but there have been so many large YouTube creators and just other creators in general on the internet that have been so willing to work with us and like are, I don't want to say encouraging, but like they're so cool about just like collabing with us. And it's just like, it feels really good on like a way to kind of expand our audience level, but also on like a personal level because so many times you hear stories about like how weird content creators online are and like
Yeah.
how there's so much drama. There's all this like drama about everything, and it's just so like humbling to be able to receive like and maybe it's something about the JoJo community in general. Like people explode so fast in it.
The JoJo community is like very supportive. I again, I've done a crazy amount of collabs when I did nothing basically except upload ship posts. And I think what made me want to start Project SBR is that I was just like, I think I passed like 2K subs on YouTube, and I looked at all my content. I'm like, really? Really? That's what gets me to 2K? And I just went, okay, I'm going to do something. And then I thought about it. I did my homework. I researched it, and with just these 3 simple steps, you too can be the next JoJo content creator.
Oh my god, is Part 7 Civilian number 10?
Yeah, I know. I got a whole cast of characters. You never know what's gonna come.
Yeah, but me and Jim started doing like JoJo stuff. Like it started actually getting like views and numbers, and we're like, oh shit, we gotta start doing more of this.
Oh,
Jim,
JoJo...
get caught up to Part 8 quick.
Because yeah, like if you're unaware, Schroder, we used to do a podcast back in the day called the Neoncast that literally no one listened to, and
I'm so sorry.
We
Hey,
it's
except
fine.
for that Tigre episode.
Yeah, we did have I mean, classic YouTube. Like one of your videos will just get like a few more views than the other ones, and you're just like, why?
Because
Who cares
it was
about
Marvel
this?
related.
Yeah, it was Marvel related, so that did help. But so we did this podcast for like I think close to a year, and it really didn't get like any traction. And then we were like, oh yeah, JoJo's fun. Let's talk about JoJo. And then
Jim
it took a
freed
while.
through it finally.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, because I started reading through it, and it was like, oh, let's like do some spoiler cast episodes on the parts I finished, and then it was like, oh, let's just do like a monthly chapter review series, and that's where we really started to get like a sort of like like niche following, I guess, and
Viewer base.
yeah, and it just
I'd imagine.
it's really like I don't know. I think the cynical side of me is always like the way to begin an internet career is to really appeal to like fandom groups because there's often such a strong sense of community and like there's so many people that just want to listen to things. Like people just want to listen to people talk about JoJo, and
Yeah,
it's
no.
a great way to get a foothold and like form a community.
Yeah,
Especially Part 8, there wasn't many Part 8 stuff. So like, once
Yeah,
we
at
got
the
there,
time.
like,
yeah.
At the time, we were like one of the only. Well, of course, X-Force was doing his Part 8 reviews for like a while before we even started, and we kind of ours was kind of like in the idea of like, oh, let's just kind of like do these like recap podcast discussions like X-Force is doing, and or at least I was inspired by the fact that like X-Force was doing this thing, and sorry, I lost my train of thought, but yeah, like you really start to grow just like slowly, and you start to see that there are people that are interested in this thing that no one else is talking about. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And now there's so many people talking about Part 8. It's crazy.
yeah.
JoJo, what I've observed about JoJo is that, like, I love the series. I'm also one of the few people that think, like, I don't find the show funny anymore. And that's where, like, I think I've created a bit of a barrier, even though Shuckmeister kind of helped me get me to where I am a little bit. Like, right now I look at him and he's, like, making all these memes, and I'm like, I mean, I just want to talk about the intellectual storytelling of JoJolion and stuff like that.
I work out at the library.
I work out at the library, exactly. And from what I gather with JoJo is that it's a show that is evergreen in the sense that people want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. People want to make content surrounding it. I think it's because it's one of the few shows you can compare to itself. Like, I can say, hey, I think this part is the best one, and this JoJo is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Someone can go, no. and then it creates a natural conversation. It's weird. It's out there. It draws a lot of references. So there's so much material there. Meanwhile, with like a show like, not to ramble on, but like with a show like Attack on Titan, we all just go like, dude, that show's good. And then we all go, yeah, that show is good.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I mean, JoJo, you also have the music stuff too that people like, get
True.
into as well, and like art, like designs, and there's just so much like as well as the story, but like
It's really rare for there to be like one, like to have an artist or like one creator work on something for over 30 years and have it be like a continual thing. It's something that can like only happen in Japanese, like the Japanese comic industry with manga. Like even in like American comics, you don't see one person working on a series for this long. It's so rare. But having
Araki and like Oda, like the two, like
and yeah, like I mean, Araki's got like what 15 years on Oda, like from when One Piece started.
yeah,
But there's just so much, as you said, Schroder. Like you can look back at Araki's older work and like directly see how his influences change, how his inspirations changed, even the art style. I know that's like probably one of the biggest, like the easiest ones to point out because it is so right there on the page. But even like how his story structure has
Beefy
changed.
Jonathan. Oh, Beefy Jonathan. Ugh.
I love that beefcake
skinny ass
Jonathan.
Gappy.
No, Gabby got a little bit of bone on him. It's Giorno. He's the one that's just skin and bones.
What? Do you have a personal favorite JoJo part or in character?
Oh, we're
yeah,
doing
that's a
this
great-
now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
yeah.
we
Do
gotta
that.
grade you on that.
Oh, okay. I actually have two different part rankings. One where it's subjective and one where it's completely objective. Factually speaking. My favorite JoJo is JoJolion. I love her so much. And it pains me because I feel like we're going to be seeing this a little bit more when an anime adaptation gets announced. She's so much more than girl Jotaro. Everybody says, oh, she's girl Jotaro. I feel like people see that like she's the only girl JoJo, and then that's the label they throw on her. But like when you really look at her, she's the culmination of every JoJo that came before her. She's also the first JoJo to have like an arc, I'd say. Like she starts and ends at very different places. She has her own like distinct flair. She will beat the shit out of you, not because it's like a justice thing, but because she's from Florida, and she will do that.
Florida woman.
And my favorite part, subjectively, it's part 5 because I just like the action, but objectively, Steel Ball Run. Right behind is JoJolion, depends on how it all wraps up. Then 6, 5, and 4 are all tied, objectively speaking. It's just a matter of opinion on which one you like more, and then 3, 2, 1, straight down the line.
Mm-hmm.
3,
I
2,
think
1 now.
it's so interesting to me. People always talk about how like Stone Ocean is the most divisive one, but the more I see, I think like part 5 is one of the most divisive ones because like it's almost always either people's favorite or their least favorite. Like the anime, I think, kind of leveled it out a bit, and people enjoyed it more because I guess anime just does that to people. The JoJo fans that just can't read, and I don't know, like there's so much part 5 hate, and I was really surprised when I encountered it because like when I went through part 5, I was like so into it. It was like at the time, I think it might have been my favorite part.
Yeah, you really loved it, and you like loved Bruno, and like I think the only thing I talked to you like, about when you first started, like the only thing I wasn't big on was Giorno.
Yeah, Giorno is a pretty like weak area for part 5 for me.
He's not the main character of his own part.
Yeah, Bruno just really overshadows him.
I think the deal with part 5, and this is just a general consensus I think a lot of us can agree on, is that like when you watch something or experience something, your takeaway is often related to the ending. For example, like when you came out of theaters from Avengers Endgame, you're like, damn, that was a good movie because it was exciting at the end. Like everybody's lining up. And then when you step back and you're like, oh wait, it was a time travel movie. Oh,
It was 3.5 hours long.
Yeah,
I really
maybe
have to
it was
pee.
good, but maybe it wasn't that good. I think part 5 suffers the same part where like the takeaway is the main character, the main villain, and the ending. Like that's your knee-jerk reaction leaving, and those just so happen to be the worst aspects of part 5 in my opinion.
Yeah.
like Giorno, Diavolo, and Silver Chariot Requiem / Gold Experience Requiem / Sleeping Slaves. It's thematically rich, but like in terms of like an exciting climax, it's very somber and serious. So
I remember when we did our like we reviewed like the anime arcs and we got the Sleeping Slaves because we had like the opinion of just like I didn't like I think we both didn't like where it was placed like at the very end and like a lot of people were like defending it like crazy and it's just like passionately and just like it's just our opinion of it. This is how Part 5 is. Like every like bits of it are just like it's controversial.
It's so weird, too, because Part 5 is the action part. There are so many great fights. That first half with La Squadra, I feel like, is the best of JoJo. Like,
yeah, it's like a better Part 3. I think, like, Part 5 is just Part 3 just done better.
Agreed.
Yeah, and we talked about how the manga has some fights that are amazing, but like there's some fights where the anime does it better, and like it's a good thing to actually be able to watch both of those or read one and watch the other one because White Album is so much better in the manga, but then you get BIG, which is really good in the anime because it uses the tension way better.
Yeah, it's crazy. You have this great action part, and then Silver Chariot Requiem. They're all just walking,
and then Polnareff becomes a turtle.
That's great. We love that.
It's so weird.
I think Part 5 is very good, except that like people just really don't like it because they walk away with that, and then that just taints a lot of. I introduced some of my college friends to JoJo, and like they go like Part 4 is my favorite. Part 5 is right there. It's just that ending, dude. It's just that ending.
Because like the most satisfying, like what's everybody's favorite ending to a JoJo part then?
Part 6, easy.
Part 7.
Oh wait, actually, Part 7.
Part 7 is just like so incredible.
Part 7
from like
I
the whole
really
finale is just incredible.
I really do love Part 1's ending, just for like how shocking it is.
I really do love Part 1's ending. I think Part 1 is like kind of the dark horse of the JoJo parts. Like it often just gets kind of like underappreciated. And there's some real great emotion at the end of Part 1.
Just to have your main character fucking die at the end of his at the end of the story after he beat the bad guy is like crazy.
We all had that moment where we were watching like the boat scene and we were all like, okay, how's Jonathan gonna get himself out of this one?
Nope.
Oh.
Well, Dio gets him out of it.
Technically.
One of my best friends, they're probably gonna give me flack for outing them. Part 1's their favorite part. It baffles me.
Hey, that's valid. That's totally valid. Especially, okay, unless they're talking about the anime. If they're talking about the manga, that's valid. If they're talking about the anime, I have questions.
I think they've never read the manga.
Cringe.
It's because I think it's a personal bias with Jonathan, and also they like simple stories. So,
Hey,
I
fine.
guess.
I mean, there's no wrong opinions in JoJo and fandom in general. No matter how much, I will refute that statement.
If they like the stuff that's not Stan related, you think Part 2 would be their favorite or something, because how everybody seems to go.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people just kind of jump through Part 1 to get to 2.
I mean, speaking of part endings, I know JoJolion is you talk about it so much, but I really want to see how it ends. I know that like everybody says like, come on, I know it's monthly, but like let it run its course. Don't like wait for Part 9. I don't want Part 9. I don't want to skip to Part 9 because I want Part 9. I just want to see how everything in JoJolion culminates to an end. Because goddamn, calling me curious.
We're in such a strange place. Like, there's been... Because it's funny because, like, I think everyone this year was like, JoJolion's ending soon, it's coming to an end soon. And then, like, we see the flash forward. I think we got the flash forward, like, 2 years ago. And we are still nowhere close to the flash forward, like, happening. So, who knows? Who knows how much time is left?
We're just getting characters popping up again. Like, we just had, like, Kyo, or Kai.
K, yeah.
Now, I have to get used to that still. But, yeah.
I know.
It popped up, and there's, like, and there's still, like, so much to find out in this arc, or this part. Like, I still feel like we're like a couple years away from it actually being over.
But yeah, going to like the ending, like for me, the one thing that I'm so interested in is like Josuke's relationship with Holly, and like um I really want to see something like fulfilling with that.
Have you
I just
read
recently,
chapter 92?
well, I mean, yeah, that was a nice little tease, but I don't want Holly to die. I want them to have like a little happy relationship. I just recently played the hell out of the game Hades, which is very much about
Well,
a young lad trying to find his
careful.
mommy, and
I'm
I love it.
about to start it, so very careful.
Oh, yeah. There's I won't spoil anything. It's just, yeah, beautiful game. I love the themes of the game. It's very much about like family,
It's
and
about family. Like
it's
Star
about
Wars.
family. But yeah, definitely everyone play Hades. It's the game of the year.
Did he get robbed?
I
Oh, we
don't. I
talking
mean,
Game
yes.
Awards?
Yeah, we're talking about the Game Awards for 12 seconds. I guess it did get robbed, but also the Game Awards is like a fucking commercial, so I don't really care about the Game
Yeah,
Awards.
the only
I-
good thing was Mario dying by Sephiroth.
That's funny.
Oh, I think you mispronounced his name. According to
Sephiroth.
yeah, you knew.
The chills.
Yes.
Cloud and his friends take on the evil Sephiroth in
Chills.
order to take down.
If you could get Chills to voice one character in your comic, what would he go?
Magenta. Easy. Airplanes. I really wish they invented airplanes.
Oh no, I'm stuck at the bottom of the river.
Diego will
Forever.
come to save me.
I eventually stopped thinking.
Oh no, I want it. I want it so much.
So campaign. That'll be the writing campaign.
I'm
Campaign
gonna
to
do
get
cameo.
chills and as
You know what?
enchantment.
I'm shocked how quickly that came. That I knew I wanted him to voice Magenta.
Yeah, that was pretty off the cuff.
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't have to think. Just you knew.
I just knew
Fate.
it came to me.
Just came.
It's
Number
cra-
14 said it like this in an insect flash into your head, and then you just knew.
What I'm curious about is that, like, I know that as the director, I shouldn't have my own personal biases for who I cast, but I know that I want to at least voice one character. I mean, it's my project. I should have that. But then, like, every time we get to a character, I'm like, but I'm not the best pick for the job. Like, I was like, I can be Diego. And then I'm like, no, I can't. I'm not British. Let's think about this.
I mean, in most dubs, they don't really go by
Well, part
accents.
two. The part two
I'll
dub
say this,
did,
I'll say
and
this.
it's great.
If I ever make it to Magenta, I feel like I've earned the right to voice Magenta. Because that's like in volume 14.
Well, if you can't get chills,
If I can't get Chills. Okay, I feel like Chills, in terms of being the best person for the job, I'm not saying he's the worst. I'm just saying he's not up there.
Yeah, great.
I mean, yeah, that's how it always goes. You always have like, man, if I could be a voice actor, like who would I possibly be able to do? And
Ojiro
that's, like, that flash
Sasame.
always goes in your head.
Oh, yeah, can I talk about my favorite JoJolion character? Because I don't know where else I can talk about
Yeah,
him.
go ahead.
Ojiro Sasame.
Love him.
Best character ever made.
Love that man.
I am not being facetious. I am saying this with a whole heart. Ojiro Sasame is Araki's peak in character writing.
We were so happy when we saw him pop up again, and like, everyone was like,
Yes!
I can't believe they're bringing Ojiro back.
Yes!
I was just like, this is awesome. We have this goblin man, like, running amok again.
His
Awesome.
reintroduction, where he's just like hunkering down in the
100%
middle of
trash.
Mario, eating trash, was
Eating ice
wonderful.
cream, then putting it on like the trash
Some-
bag into like some lady's luggage.
Yeah, using
God.
weird superpowers that we don't know about.
That-
I mean,
that's-
his re-return is amazing, but I just want to focus on, like, even him originally was fucking hilarious. He was a man who, like, was really into BDSM, I think, and then, like, Kiryoshikage just said, like, hey, fuck you, and then he ate his fingers. How much more JoJo can you get than reacting to someone saying, hey, are you a man of the sea or a man of the land? Just think about it, really. And
I'm
then
a surfer,
eating
but I
your
mean,
fingers.
then you chew his fingers off.
He did find some pretty convincing prosthetic replacements,
He
though.
found the same guy, Joseph Joestar, probably found his prosthetic from the Speedwagon Foundation.
Stroheim.
Yeah, Stroheim. That's right,
Yeah,
Stroheim.
A.U. Stroheim.
I mean,
There's-
but I assumed that Joseph like got it like a better one from the Speedwagon Foundation based off Stroheim's design because it like malfunctioned at certain points.
Yeah, we also know Strom died at the end. So.
Yeah, he died in the war.
He died
And I
in
don't-
Stalingrad. Shout out to the
Hilariously.
Russian soldier who took out fucking Stroheim.
a man that had the machine gun in his chest.
How would you even kill him? There's more metal on him than fucking man.
I know this is like so well trod ground about like, oh yeah, Stroheim fucking sucks, Nazi, like yeah, bad. It's bad to have like a Nazi as like a protagonist, but I still hate so much how they like valorize him dying in Stalingrad, which is like one of the most like horrible losses for the Russians. Like it's just this terrible fucking siege. And he's like, oh no, but he gets the Valorant ending here. It's like
He helped fight a vampire.
That's all it takes to redeem your transgressions against humanity. I feel like people get a wrong idea with Stroheim. I don't feel like you're ever supposed to view him as a good guy, because like he's a fucking Nazi.
Even in his introduction, like when he gets like he does like a sacrifice, but still like
Yeah.
he's not a good guy.
he's definitely not a bad
Indiana
guy.
Jones
Like,
in the sense that like he's a third party, and you're
Yeah.
like, it's like, and that's what I kind of like about part 2. Going back to it, it's that like you have and I like about JoJolion and Steel Ball Run. It's that like you have people that you're like, well, you're bad, but like this guy's worse. So I don't know where that makes us.
I mean, the third party just so happens to be the Nazi party, but still, like
It's true. You know what? I'll never forgive JoJo for in parts 1 and 2 introducing like a lot of cool concepts. And I'm not saying like, oh, why did Araki drop Pomon? I get that. But like, why didn't Araki keep introducing new ideas? Like, we have cyborgs existing, why not like fucking werewolves? What if like there's like a werewolf character? He does it sometimes though, like he'll have an alien in part 4 and a guy
Maybe.
in part 6 that nobody likes because he knows feng shui.
what about zombies, but they're invisible?
That's a stand.
Named after Fred Durst's band.
well, that's like the.
If you're
I think
talking
that's the-
flaccid pancake, we can talk flaccid pancake. But
That's like the most fun part about, because I think Araki has created the perfect like writing style for himself, or like the perfect conditions for writing, because with stands he leaves the playbook open enough that he can just do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a weird non sequitur to have like a feng shui stand or a flaccid pancake, because it's like, oh well, I guess stands are just bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
Like stands can
I
just
guess-
be anything.
I mean, literally look at Wonder Review. Like, it had stand design, but it also can disguise itself as an old man. But also, it can go through walls and just sit chill in the walls. And it can also see through his stand from miles away.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
every JoJo character versus 1 billion lions, Wonder Review comes out on top.
Yeah.
I made
so many fucking dead lions.
I made a Twitter post that went very unappreciated. Also, for the audience that doesn't know, I'm also on Twitter, but don't follow me. I really just say anything that comes to my mind. And I
Dude.
made a tier list for every JoJo character versus 1 billion lions, and I think it's a fucking banger.
Trying to think. I was like,
Survivor would be the most funny because you just make them all fight each other.
That's like the one that doesn't help.
Imagine the sound of a billion lions fighting each other. That would be so terrifying. It would literally shatter your
The
eardrums.
so if
sleeper.
Highway to Hell starts like strangling himself, like would it just kill all the lions or strangle all the lions?
He'd
It's only one user.
He'd only be able to take out at least one.
At least. Oh, I'd be like, what?
Possibly.
How would a lion kill itself? This is the content that I want to see.
Oh, true. I think the sleeper in the 1 billion lines versus every JoJo character that nobody thinks about is Yellow Temperance, because it feeds off flesh.
Oh.
So literally,
so-
the more lions it takes out, the more it can kill.
But this is an important question. Where is the setting for this fight? Because that can like impact so many
Morio.
stands.
Florida.
Like the Florida
Oh, Florida.
Everglades, or just or just like the Florida
It
beach.
would have to be the Everglades.
It- Every JoJo character is based in Morio, and surrounding them, minus the ocean, because lions can't swim. Everybody knows this. Surrounding them, lions are coming in every direction, and they gotta like hunker down.
It's like the scene in the beginning of Dunkirk when they're like in or they're like in that town and they pick up the little flyer that the Germans sent them, and it's just a picture of where they are on the map, and there's a bunch of arrows pointing at them. It's like, you are surrounded, but it's just with lions.
Yes.
You're
Just a little
surrounded by
Dunkirk joke
lions.
for all those Dunny fans out there.
Look, I'm just saying, like,
Jeff Dunham fans.
even if we're talking 1 billion lions versus every Pokemon, every JoJo character, like
Every
it's
Pokemon.
because here's that discussion comes up, and I just want to say
Slugma.
the mental gymnastics that the Pokemon guys got to come up with, like, oh, the Slugma, there's literal god Pokemon. Lions can't kill ghost Pokemon. Oh, well, what's this? Lions can't form ladders. Meanwhile, us lion believers just gotta go. 1 billion is a lot, and that's the end of our discussion.
I would pay good money to watch Hypno-chan and Hypno-Lee together fighting 100 lions. Like,
That'd be fucking rad, dude.
back to back.
Has this turned
And
into
it's like-
Pokakaka?
That'd be
God,
wonderful.
I don't know. I think like so many JoJo characters could beat up the 100 lions. Like Pet Shop would be completely broken. Doesn't Pet Shop is usually.
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm curious where I put Pet Shop.
Pull it up. Pull up this tier.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna constantly refer to this because I know that we can't really provide visual aid for the audience.
Well, if they want the list, they can go and follow you at your Twitter.
No, don't tell them to do that. The YouTube was one thing, but
Just give you a follow.
to give you
to give you list.
to give you a highlight of what my Twitter's like, I posted this tier list like a couple days ago, and I am still scrolling to find it. It is that bad. Okay, found it. Where'd I put Pet Shop?
The biggest mistake was starting a tier list.
I always wanted to do that trend, but I just didn't feel like it.
Shucks already got that.
Basically, oops, shit. Let's just stop playing with my pen.
Yeah. Maybe you should.
So-
You should not when you're recording and play with a pen when you don't have to write down anything.
I said that Pet Shop was powerful in the sense that he could possibly kill a couple thousand.
Yeah,
I can see
Pet
it.
Shop would not stop flying around and like
birds
shooting.
get tired. Eventually, he has
As
to
long
land.
as there's thermals, as long as he has thermals to like keep
He's in
flying, he's
Florida.
fine. Yeah, he'll be fine.
He's a Florida bird now.
He can just
But here's the
he'll
question.
isolate one lion and eat it. So he can still
when
keep
is the
eating.
JoJolion coming in? I did it. I said the joke.
Hilarious.
I'm the only person who's ever said that joke.
No one's ever said it.
Do you think we're gonna get an actual lion? Like,
No,
Lion stand?
that's so dumb.
it would be epic though.
It's literally a play on the word Evangelion, but like
unless-
it's alien isn't holy.
Unless we get
Yeah,
like a rock lion.
That'd
That'd be
We
rad.
really could.
Oh, that'd be cool too, because they have like those rock lion statues.
Sure.
Sure.
Like, you know those like Chinese like lion statues?
Oh, I guess.
It's totally possible, but
I mean, it looks like how a
oh,
Rocky
the-
would draw a lion.
Here's
the
all I'm
least
saying
of,
for
like, Devin with
JoJolion.
rock thing. He with a popsicle stick. So
All I want for JoJolion at this rate is kill Toru. If he's not the main villain, which he most likely isn't, introduce the main villain, establish why they're a threat, do some shit with the new Rokakaka harvest, kill this new main villain or befriend them, I don't know, and then end. I'm sorry, I'm
mean,
impatient.
It's got to be the mom, right? Like, it's got to be the mom.
I didn't want to say Kato, but it's got to be Kato.
it ends
gotta
with
be
Joshu
Kato.
getting put into jail for being a friggin' like creep.
Yes! Yes!
Has Joshu done anything
Yes.
Yes.
that we can prove that he
yes.
can,
Yes.
anything provable? Because he's done some bullshit with his stand that you couldn't prove in a court of law because stands don't
if
exist.
Yashiho literally like says, yeah, he tried to like
He tried to fuse with me.
he tried to be, I mean, also the time where he like was in the bathroom with her, like he's stalking, probably getting arrested for stalking, and
Yeah, going back to the mental gymnastics thing, Joshu supporters gotta go like, no, because like he was just trying to defend the family when he molested Kato. He wasn't, and the misunderstanding with Yasu was a genuine misunderstanding. Meanwhile, Joshu haters all gotta go, he's gross though.
he
He's
literally
gross.
like tries to rape Yashiho a couple times.
Yeah, we don't like it.
And then like, and going back to the mental gymnastics once again, I'm just gonna say Christmas is coming up. Santa believers, he's real. But oh no, he can't possibly deliver all the cookies in one night or something like that. He doesn't deliver
The
cookies.
cookies.
He eats the cookies.
Everyone knows that Santa has power of all stands. He was like Dio from part 3 before this rumor that's actually false that Dio is gonna have all the stands. He has the power of Zawarldal, and he can stop time. That's how he delivers all the cookies in one night.
The Santa Claus lore is in the Tim Allen movie, The Santa Claus, where if you kill Santa Claus and you take his clothes, you start transforming slowly, painfully, mentally, and physically into Santa Claus.
Mentally.
Wait,
And
is
then
being
years later,
Santa a
you
curse?
have to find a wife in a year. Then you have to trick some lady into marrying you very quickly, so Christmas isn't canceled.
I've really been thinking about this. What happens if like a woman kills Santa? Does she turn into like what does she turn into like Santa Claus?
There's a whole contract, so there's probably some sexist contract clause in the movie The Santa Claus, because it's in the contract that he has to find a Mrs. Claus. Unless
I mean, Tim
Uh-huh.
Allen was in the movie, so we gotta
Unless
really
she has-
think about it.
Yeah, unless
Yeah,
she
what if-
has to find a Mrs. Claus, since it only says you have to get a Mrs. Claus.
Uh-huh. And what if Santa's gay? What if Tim Allen was gay in that movie? Like, does the man that he chooses to marry become Mrs. Claus? Does he like transform into Mrs. Claus?
Because she rapidly aged into Mrs. Claus when she married him.
I just realized how easy it would be to reboot the Santa Claus. You just get a new actor to kill Tim Allen, and then you can make a billion more movies. And then when you want to reboot it again, you get a new actor to kill that old actor.
So
Yeah, it's like a real Doctor Who kind of thing.
yeah, I was watching.
my God! Oh
the
my
one
God!
podcast
It's
to
Doctor
had
Who!
been like revisiting the Santa Claus movies, and the what's it called? In the first movie, they originally wanted him to shoot Santa Claus off
Yeah.
his roof,
I've heard that.
which is like hilarious to think about.
It's really funny because knowing the career that Tim Allen has now, like that feels very in line with his current like
Yeah,
Hollywood
Jesus Christ.
persona.
yeah. Tim Allen's kind of crazy.
I think well, what was I gonna say? When it comes to like the Santa Claus, it's a like in terms of like power scaling, I think that his curse of like making you become Santa is very busted. He just
Can we
has
do a tier list of Santa Claus power levels?
No, I feel like we should just do a tier list of like every fictional character, because I already know who the most powerful fictional character ever created is. It's Happy the leprechaun from Lucky Charms,
His name's Happy?
I think.
I thought his name's Lucky.
No, his name's
It is
Happy.
Lucky. I'm
Is it
pretty
Lucky?
sure.
Well,
How is
he's-
it Happy?
No, he's the most powerful. Let me tell you, I was eating a box of Lucky Charms, as one does. And on the back of the box, it said, like, hey, here's what each magical charm does in the Lucky Charms. And I'm like, oh, I'll give this a read. And you had, like, the basic ones, like, the moon turns him invisible, or the balloon makes him float, or the horseshoe gives him super speed. And I'm like, okay, that's reasonable. And then some of them get a bit whack. The heart makes him give any inanimate object life. Like Giorno, I guess. His time hourglass allows him to control time. No elaboration, just
He doesn't do a
control
good job with it though.
time.
He always like on the run of children. He could just constantly use the
he
time
wants
powers.
to give the illusion of weakness. His and
He
the
could
most
easily
busted
just
one.
Ringo Road again. Like he could just do the Ringo Road again. So he just puts his Lucky Charms in like a cave, and then just it makes children walk through the
Pouring-
same like loop over and over again, and they get lost.
Pouring
I
the
didn't
milk
even
in
tell
is,
you the
is
most
the
busted
switch
one.
to start it.
instead of winding the watch, it's pouring the milk.
The shooting star gives him teleportation. I forgot to mention that, and also the clover itself gives him like. I remembered the words on the back of the box that made me start thinking this was like the word unsurmountable luck or something like that.
So it's
And if you
it's
think about it,
chaos.
luck is luck is the most busted ability if you ever want to really think about it. On top of controlling time, giving things life, invisibility, super speed, teleportation, and really if you can teleport, why do you need super speed? And floating.
I can only think of one mascot that would maybe put up is the original Honeycombs mascot, the little like hedgehog like crazy.
Oh, I
looking
think
one.
you're out of your depth, Sam. I think the Honeycombs monster would get trounced by Lucky.
I don't know, man. That thing can disguise itself somehow.
Now, if we want to talk about like a real competition, my boy Mr. Clean has some words to say to you.
Or
What
talk
does
about all
Mr.
mascots,
Clean
about cereal
have? He's
mascots.
bald. He's bald, okay?
He's a fucking genie. He's so incredibly powerful. He can clean your
Mr.
house
Clean
in like
is
seconds.
not a genie. He's just a bald guy.
He has
Bald
he has
guys
one
aren't
earring.
all genies.
I
He
think
has
the
one
Michelin
earring.
Man can easily take them all.
Oh,
out.
actually, you're
I'm-
right, Sam.
no.
Bibendum is very powerful.
No, don't go to Michelin Man. I want to stay on you thinking that Mr. Clean is a genie.
he is. He's got a one earring.
He's a bald guy who cleans stuff.
How is one earring? It's like we're playing Super Fight. How can like one earring say that he's a genie?
Okay, Sam. He comes out of the bottle. You shake your bottle,
All right.
Mr. Cream.
I
Mr.
wonder-
Cream. He comes
I
out.
really want to know
Consult
now.
Google.
Like, if I, like, went to a convention that I knew you guys were going to back when conventions were a thing, and I shaved my head, and I walked up to Jim, and I was just like, hey, man, and you're like, are you going to be like, shit, you're a genie! My first wish!
Man, I should. My type is Mr. Clean on Google. I did not expect some of these things to pop up first.
I typed in
I
Mr.
will
Clean,
say-
and the first thing was Mr. Clean Death.
Yeah, Mr. Clean has no right of being one of the hottest mascots ever conceived.
There's that one commercial where he literally was like, his booty was like going.
According to Procter and Gamble, the original model for the image of Mr. Clean was a U.S. Navy sailor from Florida.
Pensacola,
Although
yeah.
some people may think he's a genie based on the earring and folded arm tendency to appear magically at the appropriate time, and then it cuts off. I had to click on the actual
I'm just
Wikipedia
thinking,
article.
like,
No, it says, okay, the next line. One of the live-action commercials has a character directly refer to Mr. Clean as a genie. See, I'm not crazy.
what?
But
But,
he
like-
doesn't grant wishes. He just cleans.
Like,
Sam,
okay. If
what
someone-
is your biggest wish? Is to have a clean house.
Yeah, no,
See, now
Jim,
you've never seen
this
my
is where I
room.
think you're misunderstanding. This is where you're misunderstanding things. Like, if someone came and, like, cleaned your entire house, you'd be like, oh, thanks, man, you're like a real genie. You're like, you granted my wish.
You're a cleaning wizard. Doesn't mean he's a fucking wizard.
Yeah, it's a figure
Fucking
of
Mickey Mouse
expression.
has make the brooms come to life to clean his house, but
And do you know what? Let's find Ungalo. Let's get him to use Bohemian Rhapsody. We'll fucking ask Mr. Clean himself if he's a genie.
He's gonna say, "Of course, I'm Mr.
he
Gene."
wouldn't say a word, and then Baby Nut would come in.
All right, we're gonna have to talk
Has
about
this
it now.
podcast gone full baby nut?
We're gonna have to talk about it right now. Did you guys know that Baby Nut is now named Bart?
Yeah, he's like a teenager, right?
I wanted to die.
He's an adult now. So okay.
Oh, he's an
Baby
e-boy?
Nut was they killed him off, and then he came back as a fucking baby, and then they did like this awkward, like he was an awkward teen online.
He was an e-boy.
And it was awful. And I was like trolling the account. Like I would go on and say like, I hate this, please stop. Just trying to get blocked by them so I wouldn't see their ads anymore. And now he's an adult again, and his name is Bart. And he's like, hey guys, my name's Bart.
my
Nice to meet
shorts.
you. I fucking hate
Now-
Mr. fucking
Wait,
Peanut.
Now that I think about it, Waldo was in part 3. And technically speaking, I think Waldo can classify as a mascot.
I mean, is it Mario
Uh,
technically in part 5?
No.
What are we using to define mascot here? Because I'd say Waldo's just like a book character.
Well,
A mascot is a character representing a brand.
Well, in that case, I don't think. Well, I mean, Waldo can be a brand. I think.
You're gonna have to try a little harder than that.
All right, I was trying to connect some dots, but yeah, no, nothing really came of it.
Oh, I know who could win and beat all those mascots. Fucking Gritty.
Who's
Gritty
who?
is so powerful, actually.
Who are you talking about?
So Philadelphia, the Philadelphia hockey team, the Flyers, recently.
Are you talking about
this
that
is like,
green thing?
No, he's orange. He's bright orange.
Green. The Fanatic is the green one.
Yeah, the Fanatic is a bird. The Fanatic has been around for decades.
At our local mascots.
So this is the greatest story ever, if you're unaware. Like, so a few years ago, the Philadelphia Flyers and Sam and I live like really close to Philly, so Flyers pride. I don't actually care about sports. But so the Flyers created a new mascot who's this horrifying, like he kind of looks like a big fat Muppet. He's bright orange and he looks very trashy, and his name is Gritty. And everyone hated him when they revealed him. Every fucking one on the internet hated him, including Phillies fans. But then when Phillies fans saw that everyone hated Gritty, they started to love Gritty in spite. And now Gritty is like the most beloved figure in all of Philly.
I'm gonna look him up right now. Keep talking about Gritty.
It'd be horrible.
He's kind of like a classic mascot design. He's got like a big belly
my
that
God.
he shakes around.
Oh
He
my
jiggles
god!
around too. His like stomach like jiggles.
His eyes are both bobble eye or like
my-
googly eyes.
How
So
have I
whenever he
never
moves,
heard
they
of him?
shake.
I have family in Philly. How have I fucking never heard of this guy?
I can't believe this. This
I
like
love
blew
the
up on the
Philly
internet.
tradition of just create like monsters and like weird things as your mascot that had nothing to do with your teams.
Oh my
It's
god!
great.
I think the worst part is that like in some of these pictures, his eyes aren't looking the same direction.
Yeah. he had
Oh yeah,
googly
that's like his
eyes.
look. Oh, we love Gritty.
Wait, here's a picture of. I just found a picture of him at a gay pride parade. So you know what? Maybe Gritty ain't half bad.
I
Hell yeah, we
Gritty
stand
had,
Gritty.
Like a Black Lives Matter protest as well.
I think you're right.
I think he popped up at like a Black Lives Matter protest. It was great.
Gritty is the most he's the one mascot that stands in solidarity with all movements.
Photoshop this, but can we make this the thumbnail?
Oh, that's a great idea, actually.
It's gonna be like thunder. It's gonna be like death battle, but it's like it'd be Gritty versus
Lucky the mascot
versus Lucky.
That'll get so many clicks. Hey, everybody who clicked on this video because of the thumbnail, isn't that a good argument? Who would win? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to Jokakaka.
All right. Let's talk about something else that isn't mascot.
And now anybody in the Discord gonna be very confused at seeing a picture of Gritty.
Oh yeah. Great. We love Gritty. All right. Do we have anything else we want to talk about? I know you said you watch like 5 anime. Do you want to talk about anime?
I do. Let's talk about anime on the internet. And actually, before we do that, I want to talk about talking about anime on the internet. What a weird subculture. That's all my thoughts about that.
It sucks. It's really annoying.
It sucks.
It's hard.
Don't fuck with anime fans. We're annoying.
It's really weird how like important every anime critic feels, because like, and I don't want to say it's like self-importance, like it's because there was so few of them for a while that like you had these like big personalities really spring up that like everyone put a lot of like stock in, and like this person, Mother's Basement, is like so respected and he's such a big name in the community, and then they started getting like, all of these like sponsorships and like deals, so it almost legitimized it.
Well, he also did like nothing but sword art videos and like
hey guys, Jeff Keighley is the guy that does Game Awards. I'm really
no, his name's Jeff Thu. Jeff Thu.
Okay, Jeff Thu.
I know. I feel like we bring up Mother's Basement all the time. I feel bad because
let's not talk about him.
He did the JoJo viewing order thing, and that like caused a huge rip in the JoJo community.
Yeah, well, he just knows how to kick the hornet's nest.
Yeah.
So anime.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan season 4 just started. Wow, I'm anime only, so I don't really know what's gonna happen, but I'm really looking forward to it.
I watched season 1 years ago, and I have not watched anything since.
All right.
We're thinking about having like a series maybe in the future for Attack on Titan, but
I'm a
where we read the manga
of Yu-Gi-Oh. I said this before we started the podcast. If there's any one thing I like more than JoJo, I think it's Yu-Gi-Oh. From a guilty pleasure standpoint.
The card game, or both?
Both. More so the anime, just because I love it. Card games on motorcycles, just going to school to specifically learn how to play a card game.
Chilling out in school with
oh yeah, Poor Kids Dub, by the way. If anybody's been on the fence about watching Yu-Gi-Oh, you have to watch the 4Kids Dub. It's just not the same. Like
it's pretty wonderful.
I fucking loved watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and then when it ended and it's learning what happened and how batshit insanity happened afterwards. I'm like,
Yu-Gi-Oh! GX seasons 1 through 3 is like a very like happy-go-lucky, like, yeah, we're all having fun. And then season 4, like reading about it, because I've never watched it, it's just like
dual ghouls.
Yeah, it's just like Jaden, or in the anime, Japanese anime, he's like called like Judai, like it tackles PTSD.
And like, I told you that our main character had a card like launched into space by Kaiba, I think, and then that card came back angry that he got rid of him, and then wanted to get revenge on him, but then eventually he used a playing card to fuse with the spirit of the angry card.
Awesome.
And also they're both
he used
dating,
super polymerization to fuse with Yubel, which makes no sense.
They're having eternal sex.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's what I love about Yu-Gi-Oh! You can point at anything, and it makes no fucking sense. You can look at like card games on motorcycles, all of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Why?
There's an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX where he duels a monkey. He fights a guy, a child who's
JoJo
locked
reference.
up he is locked up into school because he has the power to get people high when he's near them.
Yes! And wait, I can't forget my favorite episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. If there's any episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX that even you listening right now, if there's anything that you should watch, it's the episode... Fuck, I can't remember the name. There's an
Is that
episode.
the egg witch one where they have to duel?
The egg witch one! You know what I was going to talk about! There's a kid, and he has no luck at drawing. Like, they have, like, this thing where, like, there's, like, a bucket of, like, egg witch sandwiches.
It's a lottery.
It's a lottery, because, like, there's one really good one, there's some, like, pretty bad ones. And, like, it's to test their drawing skills of, like, drawing cards. And, like, they're all like, I have the heart of cards! And they draw, like, a bad egg witch. And then this guy got so mad that he was eating bad egg witch sandwiches, he went out into the fucking jungle. He was like a scrawny nerd, turned into fucking Tarzan, was able to draw cards from like a waterfall perfectly face down, which is not how drawing cards works, by the way. And then he goes back into school to draw the perfect egg witch. And fun fact, it's the bad one. You can't. Also, they duel him, and he talks like Tarzan in the 4Kids dub. You can't
I'm
make
so
this shit
confused.
up.
Wait! Don't forget the Tarzan dub when the Crystal Beast elephant has Arnold Schwarzenegger as his voice, who's voiced by Goku as well. By the way,
I know we're talking about that.
It's
Jim,
so
I'm
good.
so sorry you haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's
Jim,
so
I'm
great.
so sorry you haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh GX.
I find it. It's
fine.
so funny. And then it's weird. And then he has a friend who looks like a koala that makes food jokes of eating food because he's fat. And that's the joke.
Chumley. The joke is that he's fat. Oh my god.
GX is special where GX is weird, but like
No, GX is definitely the best one because it just has that weird factor. Because like even sometimes it gets like edgy, like Zane and his character where like he was like the top dog at Duel
but then
Academy. He was the best
Chaz.
duelist. We'll get into
the
Chaz.
best.
We'll close on Chaz. I'll let you talk about
Okay.
Zane real quick. He was the top duelist. He was the only duelist that actually played a little bit of the meta instead of like
Cyber
relying
Dragon
on
was
friendlish.
like legit, like the best card.
Yeah, and then he goes into like the professional leagues, gets humiliated. That causes him to go on a downward spiral that makes him lose every single duel after that. And then finally, he enters an underground illegal dueling ring where he gets electrocuted every time he loses life points, to the point where he got a kink off of that and became this complete edgelord, becoming like the dark version of himself. It's like
Yeah, you got a
fucking
dark
Kingdom
coat
Hearts.
and everything.
Yeah, and then he rises to the tops once again and then dies of a heart issue from getting electrocuted billions of times.
I mean, electrocuted not bad. When in original Yu-Gi-Oh, you had the duel that had like the Shadow Realm saw blades that would make you lose your soul.
Yeah, no.
I'm getting
Arcana.
flashbacks to like before I watched JoJo, and Sam was like telling me, "Oh, you gotta watch JoJo. There's a guy in it who he turns people into dinosaurs, and
there's a guy who is a dinosaur in Yu-Gi-Oh!
But then he
GX.
can.
Jim, I am telling you, JoJo is not weird. It is very normal. Yu-Gi-Oh! On the other hand,
Compared to Yu-Gi-Oh!
is complete fucking batshit. Now
we
let's
talk
talk
about the history
Chaz.
of Chaz.
Let's talk about Chaz. Do you want to,
right.
Sam? I've been talking for a while. You take the fucking floor.
All
here.
right. So Chaz is your typical rival character. He has the XYZ dragons and all that shit. He loses to Jaden and he kind of gets fucked up and he goes off into like the fucking snow mountains and finds a duel academy in the mountains. And it's like you gotta find a deck in the wild, in the cold, in the mountains to be entered in here. And he finds cards in the mountains and enters and he gets fucking Ojamas, which are like those trolliest deck you could possibly make.
And then he goes back, and then the guy's like, "Well, what have you been eating, man? Rock salt."
And then he also has a catchphrase called "Chaz it up," which is great.
Oh yeah, it doesn't
Chaz is like the
make
best
sense.
rival.
He's the
But
best
he
rival,
basically-
and then they do fucking nothing with him.
Yeah, he turns to a dual ghoul, I think, and then that's it. He gets like there's also Ojama. They made Ojama arm drag XYZ arm dragon like fusions and shit.
His
weird.
like here's every character, like you know how every character in JoJo has a stand. Every character in Yu-Gi-Oh has like a deck archetype.
A gimmick.
Yeah, his gimmick, like he had one gimmick, and then he had another gimmick, and then he had the Ojama gimmick, and then he went to another gimmick, and now he has
Jim,
like
look up Ojama King.
yeah, like his
Ojama King?
Yeah, his
Google
deck is
Ojama
this
King and-
amalgamation of archetypes, and it's so fucking ugly.
Ojama archetype in general is like the most monstrosity. Like,
Oh, I play
Oh,
like
I don't like
I'm
this.
gonna be honest with you, Sam. When I play Yu-Gi-Oh casually, I play Ojamas because they are a very fun build.
when I played, I still have a machine deck when I played in the GX. It was like, I did the Future Fusion for Chimera Tech Over Dragon,
Makes
and
sense.
then I did the Synchro Fusion deck, and then I dropped off when XTs were introduced.
All right, how about this? When this podcast is over, one rainy day,
I'm sorry, Jim. By the way,
we'll pick up. Yeah, Jim. At any second, you can just say like another anime show, and then we'll start talking about like I don't know, Jujutsu
card
Kaisen
game
or
on
something.
motorcycles.
I haven't watched it yet.
Well,
I
then
don't,
until
I don't know
you
why I
can
even
find a
brought up
show,
anime.
This is
We're talking
your.
about card games on motorcycles.
You've done this to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I did want to mention my only real experience with Yu-Gi-Oh! Besides, I think I might have mentioned this before, but when I was a little baby boy, when I was a child, for some reason, I don't know how my mom got it, but she got like a VHS tape that I guess, I don't know if like Toys R Us was doing it or something, but you could like order a VHS tape and it was like a little teaser for the anime, like the cartoon, because it was like the dub was coming on soon. And it was like an invitation to Pegasus's island where he was like sitting in a chair. He's like, "You have been chosen to come and play card games on my island." And then they do like a little sizzle reel or whatever. And then I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever.
I have a funny story. I think I told Jim this story, but when me and my sister growing up, I'm not sure. I'm sure she told this story on her YouTube channel, but we played a duel, and she saw the episode where my Valentine marked her cards with perfume, that she sprayed her cards with perfume to try to get an edge. I'm just smelling this rancid scent, and the cards are just like completely. Her cards are completely ruined. I'm just like so mad.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing.
I remember when I was a kid. I mean, Christmas
too
is coming
far.
up, and maybe we can tie us back to Christmas with this segue. But I got
Yeah, Christmas is coming up.
I got a plastic dual disc one year. Was like me and my brother
So
were
lucky.
really into Yu-Gi-Oh when we were like 8. And then we got like a plastic dual disc that you like. It was very uncomfortable and not practical at all.
Oh, it's
it
not at all.
destroys all of your cards because your cards are like scraping against the plastic.
Yeah, it bends and everything. Wait, what's it called?
But I felt just
did you
like
ever,
in the show.
did
Yu-Gi-Oh
did you
was
ever
my first
try
anime.
What is it called? Dungeon Dice Monsters?
Oh, I had the game. I had the game for Game Boy Advance.
I only had like 2 Yu-Gi-Oh, but I remember like seeing it at a store. Like, I don't want to play this.
Honestly, okay, so I don't know if there was like a real world version of it. I'm sure. I guess you're talking about
There was.
The video game was so fucking cool and fun because like the whole, for people that don't know, which I'm sure is not the two people who I'm talking to right now, the whole gimmick of Dungeon Dice Monsters is it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, so it's 1v1, but instead of cards you have like dice, and you need to like open up the die to like be the platform that your monster walks on. So the entire map is created by like opening up the dice, and each certain dice character monster opens in a different way. So it creates like a very interesting pathway for you to play. I was like super into that game as a child.
I had like 2 games. I think I played Duels of the Roses. I rented it once. I just like I couldn't get into that, which is like the PS2 game. Then I had like one on Game Boy Advance for the first series, and then I had the GX game, which I actually go to Duel Academy and like go
Yes,
to classes. I have to take a test.
yes,
I had that over on my like game game tower.
I'm gonna
But
say
like,
it.
yeah, I think it came with like one elemental hero. I want these elemental hero cards. Elemental heroes are so cool, even though they're not viable at all.
I'm gonna say it. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX was my first anime. Looking back, it was.
Oh wow.
I mean, I didn't know it was an anime when I was watching it, but it was. And since then, I've played the card game, and I've seen so many games and shows that have come up that did not strike the perfect balance of being like interesting and a good game. Like Magic the Gathering, I'm sure on paper it is a more well-structured game. I'm willing to bet. But
Yeah.
I don't care. It's boring. Pokemon is not a very good game, but it's very interesting. Bakugan has no functionality, and it was a
Hey.
complete gimmick. Beyblades is literally
I'm gonna
just
say
spinning
Beyblade.
tops. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the only one that's good.
It's cool because I love like the archetypes and like the art of these archetypes.
Wait, I
always
just
loved the
remembered in
art. I kinda
Beyblade-
dropped off, but
I just remembered in Beyblade, Moses parted the Red Sea with a Beyblade. I just remembered
Yeah.
this. Beyblade is a close contender for second place.
I mean, but how many gods, like actual Egyptian gods cards, like literally can like put people into comas in from the anime?
Oh, I just remembered. In Yu-Gi-Oh, like there's 3 god cards, but they're always changing. First they were the 3 Egyptian gods, and there were like 3 sacred beast cards.
Yeah.
Then there were 3 dark sacred beast cards, and there's
It's like legendary. It's like the 3 legendary.
yeah, and they're
Pokemon,
never
like,
good.
I don't. I do fall in the hole of watching like Yu-Gi-Oh videos, even though I have no intention of getting back into it.
I don't watch YouTube videos about Yu-Gi-Oh because I don't think they're interesting.
There's
Except Yu-Gi-Oh Abridged. That's hilarious.
Yu-Gi-Oh Bridge is great. I love Little Karibo. But he also like he's watching Yu-Gi-Oh GX and he's like enjoying it. But like I watch like there's like 2 series I really only watch of Yu-Gi-Oh YouTubers, which are just like, oh okay, we have to open 24 packs of the first series, and then we have to make a deck out of them, and then we move on and open 24 packs of the next series, and then they basically they're making decks with each pack that comes by, and it's like pretty fun to see like the evolution of Yu-Gi-Oh.
On the
Do
subject
they call
of-
themselves YouTubers?
Yeah, they actually
YouTubers,
are
yeah.
YouTubers or YouTubers, something like
I'm
that.
so fucking
I
smart.
only watched one, and he does like archetype reviews. Can we talk about what's going on with like this resurgence in like card opening? It's like the new trend. You got like the Paul
It's
brothers.
the same thing of loot boxes of just like it's just like, oh, watch me open like 100 loot boxes, like let me open up 100 card packs, and
Yeah, it's
And,
like
I did
there's a
not
couple
think
elements
this-
to it, in
I
my
did not
opinion.
think
Like,
this
if
would
they
be
get
the
that-
year
that
Pokemon
hollow-
card packs came back.
it's like if they get that hollow and they get that reaction on camera, like, oh, that's gold.
yeah, there's a few elements to it that are like the perfect YouTube video, like Storm, where it's like you've got like a big flex of like, okay, I'm spending $1,500 on all these Pokemon Gen 1 packs, whatever. You've got like the unpredictability of like different cards each time, so there's like a randomization, and there's like, oh, I need to watch this video because what if he gets the big one, and then
Right.
you have like the big reactions.
I bought a
That's, like,
sealed copy of these first couple Pokemon card packs. Let me see if I can get the first edition Charizard and like get a $1,200 card.
yeah, so yes, this is actually a trend on TikTok too. So I
Oh.
recently downloaded TikTok. I'm
Why
an
would you
old,
do that?
I'm an old man, and I was curious about it, and I have
Back
to
in
say,
my
like,
day, we had Vine.
back in my day, we only had 11 seconds, and these younger whippersnappers have like 60, I guess. I don't know
That's
how
Jim's
mine
audition
work.
for old man.
Old man.
You're
Steve-O.
hired.
Hell yeah, hired to make no money.
It's
So-
true.
Damn.
TikTok
I should
is like,
A mistake.
I'm very fascinated by TikTok. I love just like doom scrolling through it and seeing what the trends are. And like the one thing I've learned about TikTok, because like I know a bit about like YouTube SEO and like how making good YouTube video and whatever. Not that I do it, I just know about it. But like TikTok, you need to have the hook in like literally the first 1 second. If you don't have the hook in the first second, I'm not going to watch your video. No one's going to watch your video. It is fascinating to see how people immediately grip your attention in that. And the card pack things are like a perfect example, because like you'll see they already start the video with their hand showing a card, like, so you already see, immediately your brain tells you what this video is, and then you're like, I gotta see if he gets a hollow, and then you watch 12 seconds of it.
Fascinating. So this was a
TikTok.
weird year in terms of trends. Like the mainstream YouTubers are doing card booster pack openings. You have the gaming YouTubers who have shifted from like Minecraft. Now, like I know Among Us is a hot trend, but speed running has become like the forefront. I guess like everybody got recommended summoning salt videos, because I'm noticing a lot of gaming YouTubers like picking up speed running and like
I think
making
like,
videos about
Games
speed
Done
running.
Quick also help with that.
Yeah, I think it's just like a lot of like there's like a lot of speed runners who just kind of algorithm took them off. So
Yeah.
it's like
Who's that
it's
one
speed
guy,
running, card pack opening. It's a very interesting year in terms of trends.
There's that one guy, I think his name's Scott Falco.
Yes,
He does
Yes,
he does like these speedrun animations. So it's a really easy way, because I think speedrunning is a little obtuse when you're first getting into it, and like as a person that's like a viewer of it, because it doesn't really make sense initially, like what characters are doing. But when you see it animated, like it adds a lot of fun to it. And he would do these like Breath of the Wild speedrun animations where it would be like the tech that you use in the speedrun, he would animate it. And it's really fun to watch, because there's also this level of absurdity with speedruns, because they do things that are insane. and I think he really took off. He also had like a really like I look at a lot of like streamers and YouTubers, and I always admire the hooks that they have. Like he has this little like robot girl avatar that when he streams, she's like in the corner and she offers a level of like voting. There's a way to vote for him to do things, and she's like the little mouthpiece to like say, okay, voting begins, or like, okay, we're voting now. Like, but she's a really cute design, and like I think
Are you
people like him are
simping?
just doing it perfectly.
Speaking of that, like the trend of VTubers also like
Oh
blew
my
up.
god, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
VTubers.
You talked about a lot of that was Shuck, I think.
Yeah, I think
But, like-
the thing with VTubers is that like at first it was like it was like a literal culture thing, like that, because that's just Japanese
Yeah,
culture.
I remember
And,
always
like,
seeing like 2 or 3 of them. Like, that,
Yeah,
like,
Kazuna
then-
was like the first one.
And then this year it started gaining traction because you had like gimmick accounts on Twitter going like, "Oh, VTubers out of context." Everybody kind of universally fell in love with them.
like,
and then-
here's them playing GTA 5.
And then everybody, yeah, here's them watching the one cutscene in GTA 5 and not knowing what it means, so they repeat what they're hearing. We all know what I'm talking about. And then
yeah.
everybody in the
Everybody
West just was like, well, I can do this. And what I've noticed is that every VTuber sucks. Shuckmeister, I'm sorry, but like,
Damn.
why? Why? I don't like hearing an anime character and hearing an English voice out of them. Which is fucking
is really
ironic
weird to
because
me.
of what I do. But
There's definitely a trend of like I've seen some pretty big like English speaking VTubers, and I don't know, like
Didn't
I think it really
Pokemon
is just
do
like that level of distance between me not understanding Japanese and like I can accept this as a character, but when I hear someone trying to do like a cutesy anime voice
Oh
and
my
then
god.
it hurts. It feels very like cringy to me, and I
You're
know
at the
that's
maid
like
cafe and they put on a voice.
yeah, it's like, and I know that's like such a buzzword, but it really I can't into that kind of content. Like, I think
Very
VTubers
fake.
are fine. Like, I think it's fine that people are into it, but it's not really something for me.
yeah.
One thing I've noticed, actually, going back to TikTok, is Kazuna Ai, who is like, she was the first like big VTuber that I noticed. She has like the little like pink bow bunny ear thing.
Yeah.
Like if you ever saw any VTuber videos,
She's like the first. Yeah, she's the
she was like the
first big one.
progenitor.
Yeah.
It's her and the
She
redhead.
is on TikTok and she does these like dances. She just does TikTok dances, but they have like a full body like mocap rig that they have on some
The same Miku
actor.
technology.
Basically, I guess so, but it looks really good. Like the mocap is really good, she just does fucking TikTok dances with these like really elaborately designed backgrounds and like light shows, and it's just sick. It's just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's
And yeah,
it's so weird. I think, like, I know that like cultural appropriation is thrown like heavy-handedly, but I'm starting to worry that like maybe this is literally cultural appropriation by just having all these Americans going like, I'll be a VTuber, people will love it.
It's just that trend that people.
Then
are trying
again,
to
the
jump on
culture the culture is anime girl playing video games, so I don't think we have much to worry about there.
yeah. I feel like it's pretty like
It's
I think
low
pretty
stakes.
Harmless.
It's very low stakes. But like
And the fact that the program is like easy to get, because Jim literally did it.
Yeah, I've done it. I have a VTuber that I don't really use because it's kind of like it was kind of a meme, but she's like a disgusting pug, like
Oh.
human hybrid
Jim
thing.
was the first ugly VTuber avatar.
yeah, no, one of my good friends is like a VTuber, I think. Or no, they make VTuber face rigs. I used to be I hate that I'm saying this because of the viewpoints on them. I used to be a Discord moderator for Slimesicle before he like blew up. And I met a lot of people through him, and I actually met him in person because I was looking for a place to learn game design. And then I've met, then this one person makes face rigs, and we're still in touch. And like it's a craft. It's like I'm gonna probably be a technical artist when I graduate college, so I should be studying VTubers. But there's like a lot of work that goes into everything rigging up, and I'm glad that the software like face rig is so accessible for consumers. It's really like I can geek about technology talk, but it's not very interesting. So we can go back to anime at any time.
No, so yeah, I made my, ah, fuck, I forget the program's name. I made my little, Puggo-chan, which is like a little pug, whatever, VTuber thing, in, VRoid Studio, I think. And for like a beginner, like that is like such a bare bones program. It is so easy to just like make something pretty simple. But there's like live 2D, which I briefly stuck my toe in, like dipped my toe in, just to see like what it was like and the level of customizing that you can do. Because live 2D is more of making like a two-dimensional avatar rather than like a 3D one. But what you need to do is you basically need to have every single aspect of your character, like whether it's their eyes, ears, nose, has to be on like a different layer. So when you move your face and your webcam picks it up, it can move different elements, like the hair will sway and like the ears will move differently. It is very like open for like if I had more free time on my hands, I might dive into it, but to me it just was kind of intimidating.
Actually, if I can change the subject really quick, I
Sure.
noticed that like there's been like this weird trend that like maybe I'm just not in the loop, and maybe you guys are like more knowledgeable on it. But like I've been noticing like in public, lots of people are like wearing face masks. People are like just staying at home more. Zoom, like that, like I didn't even know what that app was, but like it's taking off. Like I don't know like why these things are like so big this year, but it's a really weird trend.
I, for my job, I can tell you not a lot of people are staying at home.
What's your job?
Sad.
If you don't mind me asking, is that like a personal thing that you don't want to say in the podcast, or?
It's to say I'm working in retail, and it is. Yeah, people
Say
are
no
not
more.
really using any of our, the safe options. They're just kind of going in. People still have their masks hanging under their nose and like taking
Well,
their masks off to drink Starbucks
Well, the vaccine.
It's very
or whatever they
upsetting.
have.
I'm not gonna say the vaccine will fix everything, but like it is coming, and so
But you
like
still,
there is
like,
hope.
the vaccine's not going to instantly like make you immune. You still gotta like,
Yeah, but like like the end is finally in sight. It's
Hopefully.
like sometime in the next couple months.
This damn virus took away my
That's
fucking-
pretty
my one
optimistic.
convention, man.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
pissed.
well, the thing is that it's optimistic, but like there's still like an order, like healthcare workers have to get the vaccine first.
Yeah, priorities.
I don't know where Santa is on the priority list, but I feel like Santa is an essential worker.
Well,
Santa could be a super spreader. I mean, if that guy gets
No,
COVID in one house,
they'll,
Oh my
they'll
God.
shoot Santa, then someone else will put on the coat and become Santa.
Can we just zoom Santa in?
Santa.
Zoom.
I
mean,
can-
he's
you know what I can't
magical. He
wait
could
for?
make the presents appear.
I can't wait for the day I never have to join a Zoom call ever again.
That's-
Yeah, I'm pretty like I guess I'm very fortunate right now. I'm able to work from home, and which is like honestly, I'm so happy and thankful for. But I really don't need to jump into too many Zoom calls at all. Actually, it's really good because it sucks.
yeah.
Once again, I'm a student. Actually, no, I can't say that, but I will say, like, I'll tell you guys after we stop recording.
Okay.
One of the people that I know you know, we go to the same school, and we found out.
Whoa.
We found out recently. We're gonna. They didn't go to. They didn't go last semester, but because I was talking to them, and they're like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a game developer." And they're like, "Oh, I'm a game developer too." And we paused for a moment, and they're like, "Do you go to blank?" And I'm like, "Yes." How did we never know this?
That's crazy.
Weird
Yeah.
how small the world can be sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm just coming off of a semester, and man, our school in particular just does not know how to do remote learning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's a trend. A lot of like old teachers just don't know what to do, or just like,
my. I'm sorry.
no,
Oh, God, I'll go.
sorry, no one talked.
My old job I worked at like a few months ago, well, actually longer than that. Geez, like I worked at this job during like when the pandemic was happening, and I was working with a lot of teachers, and just like seeing them, teachers and professors, and seeing them have to pivot and like just have to constantly teach online and like not having anything set up for it. Like so many wonderful professors were throwing together like entire like curriculums for all these other teachers who had no experience with online learning. It was really like cool to see all of these teachers like helping each other and pivoting in such a major way. And I don't think this was back in like January, and nobody really anticipated what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But damn,
It's I will say, like, in terms of education, and I'm sure like your target demographic, if you know what they are, I'm sure it's like college students, high school students.
yeah,
Like, we can all relate. There are some good teachers who are like, hey, I recognize that this is a new process, so like, we won't have a final this year or something like that. They're fucking awesome. There are other teachers who are like, I refuse to change. I fear change, and they do nothing differently, and it doesn't help
Yeah.
anyone.
it's just not acceptable in like a modern like how things are right now. You can't expect everything to just be the same, and that's why it's so frustrating. And I've seen this in so many places. Like you can't just expect things to keep going how they are. You need to pivot. You need to adjust. And I mean, like you were
Gotta
saying,
adapt.
like yeah, adaptation is key. And like you were saying, how like in a few months, like things could be over. And like I'm much more pessimistic with this. I'm pretty sure like 2021 is going to probably be like just identical to this. That's just I'm trying to not get my hopes up too high. So this really should have like there should have been so much more people going into the idea like this needs to be a long term thing. Like we can't just have like a month of school activities or a month of whatever planned, which a lot of people initially did because they thought it was going to go away and they'd be able to go back to school. At least where we are, the schools are closing every few weeks and going back to virtual learning, and it's just chaos. There's no order. It's
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
I was gracious enough to have like an education where like we had like a lot of responsible students, and like no one really, it never had to close. Like we had to close a lot of things on campus, but like the school
Yeah.
never like went, all right, you all got to go home now. And I think it's like a money thing, like they don't want to like refund us.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they can't afford it probably.
It's shoot, I lost my train of thought.
No,
Oh,
but
and no,
my heart really goes out
I
to.
remember what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I will say what doesn't help is that, again, I'm a game developer. Fun fact, very difficult. By design, too. Because a lot of kids coast through high school, you know, playing video games, watching anime, can't imagine that kind of person. And then, like, it's time to pick a career. Oh, shit. I play video games, might as well make them. Obviously, I started this career path for ulterior motives aside from that, but I can't say that wasn't a part of me going like, well, it seems easy. It is very difficult.
You're
It is
already into it deep, and then you get all the stories come out of Crunch.
Yeah, it's crunch. It is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. I work so often. One of the reasons Project SBR had to like go on this hiatus between Volume 1 and 2, because originally I was gonna like do a month break and then go right into Volume 2. I didn't have time to direct. And like the hardest thing was that I had people on my team going like, "Hey, when are we picking this up again?" And every time I had to say like, "Oh, maybe in a couple days." But every day was I was working till like 2 a.m., going to bed, getting up at 6, going to class, immediately after class, starting another project. And even now, I've done all that work, and by pouring a little bit of more work into YouTube, I feel like I'm behind the curve. It's very stressful. So if you're in high school and you're thinking about this, and this is, I want to use my platform as much as I can to say this, don't pick game design unless you are sure that this is what you want to do with your life, and really think about that. Sorry, I'm just projecting a little bit. Very serious topic.
I would say that is great advice for anyone planning to go into college.
Yeah.
It's very common to see people just go into college with something like a psych major or whatever, and then just not really have a plan. And I can kind of relate to that personally. Not that it was a psych major, but yeah, I think definitely having a plan is good.
I think I have
Because
a
yeah, you don't want to
plan
waste your time and
now.
money.
It's crazy because I have a plan now, like because I have an internship and I have like a city that I'm planning on moving to after I graduate. So and I have like a job title aside from game developer. I'm going to be a technical artist, which work on like movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, hopefully I'll always talk about anime on the internet. But
I mean, what else would keep us all alive?
I fear the day that, because I say my name is Schroder, but it's an alias. I fear the day that like I'm working at like my future job and my boss is gonna pull me aside and goes like, "Hey, what's Schroder all about?" Because I've had friends do that to me. Because I go to a nerd school. I go to a school with a lot of nerds, and I go to a school with a lot of kids who watch anime. And every now and then, they go like, "Hey, I just watched this tier list videos for stans. Just really quick, was that you?" And I go, "Oh, god damn it."
That's really
always
funny.
a fear of just like someone actually like recognizing your voice. Or like,
Have you guys ever gotten that from like a personal friend or something like that? It's the
No.
worst. No? Oh,
No,
God.
not really, because we didn't really start to blow up until 2019, and at that point, like the job I worked, my office was like 5 people, so
Uh,
I I told them about, I actually said that in my job interview. Like I was like, "Hey, I started a podcast and I have a whole community and blah blah blah. Like I've look at all the shit I've done. I can do online things."
I envy
Um,
that. I don't think I'll ever be able to say like Schroeder in a professional setting.
I think so. This is
Even
something
though
that I
even though
was.
Project SBR is by textbook pretty damn impressive, I don't think I could just say like, "Yeah, I did an anime fan dub, so I got experience in directing."
I had it before. Like I have like my one friend. I was hung out with like his friend, and like they like JoJo. And like, yeah, you guys know X4. So like, yeah, I did a video like with him and like everything. And it's like, oh really? Like yeah. I think Jim told like one of his friends like, oh yeah, it's to your Hunter x Hunter episode. Like, wait, really? That's weird.
Ooh.
Yeah,
we can
it's-
talk about Hunter x Hunter, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. One of my second favorite show.
Yeah, I would love to talk about Hunter x Hunter. Can we take like a really quick break though?
Oh, by all
We
means.
can.
All right, yeah. So we'll be right back in a few seconds. And we're back. So yeah, we were gonna talk about Hunter x Hunter, I think.
Wait, was that like? Oh, wait, we actually started. I thought you were doing another
Oh
practice
God.
one. No, let's. You know what? I like this. Let's just keep going. Yeah, Hunter x
I
Hunter.
was gonna say that before we get to Hunter x Hunter, I was like that fear of like people recognizing you like out there. I like think of like could I go to Katsucon and just feel like someone actually recognized my voice near like the JoJo meetup, and that's like my biggest fear.
Why would it be a fear?
Cause space reveal technically, it'd be weird.
It-
I don't know, it's just
well-
weird. It never happened to me. It'd be the first time that would happen. It'd be weird.
Dude, Sam, it would make you look so cool in front of everyone else.
I have that mindset of like I said, like I'm a nobody. They don't need to know who I am.
I've
I mean,
actually
that's true.
never been to a convention. I wanted to go like to PAX East. I will say like I am in the New England area because I know you guys are near Philly and I have family near Philly. Like I've been looking at a lot of the New England conventions, and every time I go like, maybe this is the year I go to a convention. I never do. Is it fun? Is it like what's the deal there?
Sam's
I
been
always
to a
have lot of
ton.
fun. Yeah, it's just like it depends on what you want to do. You can be like, want to go to a lot of panels. You can just go around like buying a bunch of stuff. I love just doing like go to like the JoJo shoot and just watch like the cosplayers and everything. It's always a lot of fun. It's
Yeah.
just like you do a lot of drinking as well.
Yeah, that's the most fun, honestly, is like because okay, so the
Drinking
ones
and
that I've been
cosplay.
to, the ones I've been to are Katsucon, which is where is that? Is that in Baltimore?
It's outside Baltimore and DC. Like I think it's more outside DC.
And then there's AUSA is the other one I've been to, which is
That one's in
just
DC.
in DC. Katsucon, like the difference in attendance is like extreme. Like I think there's like 10 times the amount of people at Katsu that are at AUSA. If you're familiar with Katsu, or if you're familiar with MagFest, that's in the same hotel, the same like venue is where
Okay.
Katsucon is.
Okay.
I still
Katsu
need
is
to go
really
to
fun.
MagFest.
It's yeah, I'd like to go to MagFest too. Katsu's fun because it's so big and there's just so many cosplayers, and the area is like a really big kind of open hotel, so you can just kind of post up in a place and then just like people watch. There's a lot of really cool stuff around there in that area too. I've only cosplayed once. I know Sam's cosplayed a bunch. I cosplayed as Peter B. Parker from the Spider-Verse movie, the
Spider-Man.
Peter Parker that has sweatpants on and like one boot, and he's like chubby, dad bod. But no, cons are a lot of fun. Yeah, like it's a way to just kind of meet up with friends and drink. And I'm excited to do a con in the future because I really want to host a panel. That's kind of one of the things that I would really love to do because I think it would just be a ton of fun.
I mean, Jokakaka in its own, like a podcast, it's like its own mini panel in a way. So
That's
Yeah.
we always joke about having Jokakaka in
Yeah.
New Jersey.
I would love to. So another one of my goals is I would love to have a live show of Jokakaka, and I know that's stupid, but the
God.
closest I could come would be a panel.
you guys will get there. I have faith. You guys are literally the best JoJo podcast. Fun fact:
Aw.
you might be the only JoJo podcast. Would I say that? So
That's not true. There's a bunch.
there's a bunch.
I
You're
listen
the
to
only
one
good
JoJo
one.
podcast.
We're the only
literally-
like JoJolion podcast I know about, but
I don't know. I have
Yeah.
not heard of a single other JoJo podcast that's good. I know,
Ooh.
I know X-Force did his like anime review, like what is it, Gucci Gang podcast?
the Gucci Cast, yeah.
Gucci Cast. I mean, that was just because of the anime. That was it. Fun fact: I
Yeah.
also pestered
mean-
him to be on that one, but that was back when I was really just nobody. So he was every time he was just like, "Yeah, no."
I listen to JoJo's World, but they're at the point where they're waiting for Part 6 anime, so they're like watching Picano and like Castlevania and like a bunch of stuff while they're waiting for the Part 6 to be announced.
I think if I could cosplay and go to a con, I think I'd cosplay as a ghost.
Ghost.
Interesting. You should cosplay as Schroder from the Peanuts.
Nut.
Thanks. Fun fact:
I'm
the
sure
reason,
you-
Or
the
no,
reason,
no,
the reason I
cosplay
have
Lucky.
the reason I have my Schroder, I might do Lucky. The reason I have my Schroder alias is because I was like trying to grow another channel, like gaming channel, when I was like in high school. So you already know the quality we're talking about here. And I remember one day I was in like a Skype call, to give you a sense of time here. A Skype call with like all my internet friends, and my mom, like it was very new to like my mom, and she was like, "Hey, never tell them your real name. Never tell them anything." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, Mom, don't worry. I get it. Like whatever, Mom." And I was talking to them. We were playing like Smash Brothers 4. And then she walked in and she just said like, "Hey, name, you go to, I know you're going to this specific school name tomorrow," like literally doxing me word for word. And everybody's like listening, but they're my friends, so they don't really care. And then finally she goes, "Oh, I mean, Schroder." First word, the fact that was the first name that came to her head.
Oh, she just like came up with that?
She just like it was such an awkward moment, and she was just like,
That's fucking great.
So if a bully comes up, like, did your mom make that name up for you? Like, yes.
Yes, she
Yes.
did.
Yes.
That's absolutely great. I love that. Does she love like Charles Schultz Peanuts or?
I think they were watching. Like, it's a very lame origin story for a screen name, but literally they were just watching like the Peanuts, and that's why it so easily came to memory. Sorry, I stuttered on my words and went in an accent there.
Do you play
Like,
piano?
most names.
No, not at all. I can't. I have no talent. I talk about anime on the internet and I code. That's literally my life.
I feel like origins of names are never that interesting.
I mean,
Jokakaka is pretty fucking stupid.
I have a
Yeah.
wild guess on how that name came to be. I have
Yeah,
just
me
the
too.
craziest guess.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Don't make me. I don't. I think it was a rhetorical bit, but okay. Did
Sam
you
is
put
just
the
yes
name?
anding you and you're dying.
Man, I do improv too. Oh, here's the funny thing. I do improv.
Not improv.
Yeah, I do improv at my local school. I got really hammered one day, and I told all of them about my anime YouTube channel. I will never hear the end of it because they bring it up constantly.
Me and Jim drink. Jim's the one that would bring it up to other people more than me.
Yeah, Sam is so embarrassed. Sam's like a little like embarrassed schoolgirl. He won't bring it up, but I
Sam-
love to.
I'm Sam
It's
when
funny.
I'm sober, and I'm Jim when I'm drunk.
I'm like that sober and drunk.
Yeah, Sam is unflappable. Uh, no, it's really fun. Like I can I guess talk about my experience with like telling my friends. I have like a close group of friends that I've been like updating every once in a while, and like I like they're very encouraging, and like totally not interested in what I do at all, from like a standpoint of like watching it. But I feel weird about like talking about it with them. Like it feels like inappropriate or like kind of like braggy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of weird.
It's well, there's this whole stigma like, yeah, I have a podcast kind of thing. Like, yeah, everybody could have a fucking podcast kind of mentality.
Yeah,
It's
but it's like,
it's
oh no, I have a mildly successful podcast.
it's so weird how the subscriber number can like validate you or not. And for
Oh
me,
yeah.
it was like it's so weird because like I don't think it's ever going to be valid because again I hit my peak. I only planned on hitting 10K. Um, I hit 100 subscribers and I was just like I'm kind of a big deal. Then I'm like no I'm not. Then I hit 1,000 subscribers and I'm like actually I think that's that's pretty good. And I'm like no it isn't. And now I hit 10K subs and now like that high of like oh man like finally. And now it's starting to wear off and I'm like it doesn't really fucking matter though.
I'm like, man, I'm almost at 100 followers on Twitter. That's fucking crazy. There's so many for people who like, not like everybody who I know. I have like a low number of people I know who've actually followed me, but it's crazy to like, whoa, 100's a lot for me on Twitter.
Shocked
And all
I
I do is
haven't-
like
Yeah.
fan art.
Like I have these
that
little
there are people
personal.
in the community. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say I have these like little personal milestones. Whenever we hit something that I'm always like, wow, like we passed the number of people in our graduating class, or like, damn, wow, like all these like little things that are just
Like,
kind of fun to think about because it's hard to
I could pack a
conceptualize
stadium.
large numbers.
It's hard. Like I could pack like let's say that every single one of my subscribers that isn't my alt account. Just kidding. Like let's say they all came to Madison Square Garden. I could fill it. That baffles me.
And then it's just you on stage like muttering about JoJo and like this Project SBR.
Like I'm sweating and I'm just like and I just turned to my Twitter account. I know people in the community like I don't think some people have said it to me, some people they don't have to say it. But I remember like they like the JoJo YouTubers, they go like, "Hey man, like I love your stuff, but like I'm never going to follow you on Twitter. You post way too much." And I'm like, "Yeah, honestly, I understand that, but thank you. I'm glad you reached out to say that."
I have some friends like that too, like some of my art friends who just like retweet fucking everything. It's like, all right, I love your art, but I don't want to see everything you retweet. I know you can turn that stuff off too, but
I like rarely retweet art. Only the stuff I really, really like. Like,
Sometimes I just have
That's-
really bad takes too. Like again, I tweet whatever comes to my mind. The other day I was like, "Man, do you know what? I kind of don't like the pacing of Wonder of You." And when you say you don't like something about JoJo, you got to be prepared for backlash. But apparently that was like the worst thing because I'm not saying it from a I hate having to wait a month and then resuming a story and then waiting another month. I don't like the
Yeah.
pacing in the sense that if Toru's not the main villain, then why have we been hanging on to this arc for so long? Because
an
we've
arc
been
that's like rivaling like what's
yeah.
it called, the Love Train and everything.
Yeah, like we keep reestablishing like what the sand is, why it's powerful, and then the next chapter. Like granted, this arc has been broken up by stuff like Ojiro returning, which was fucking awesome, and the new Rokakaka. But at the same time, a lot of it is just like calamity, calamity, calamity.
The most fascinating stuff is like getting the backstory of like Toru and stuff, where it's like been like not just calamity stuff.
And just now, we finally reached, like, all of that was the build-up. And now we finally, like, recently, when, in the hospital, we've reached the confrontation. So we're gonna be on the confrontation for a while, and then we're gonna finally be on the conclusion. So we got
Maybe.
a while to go. Maybe. Unless next chapter, Kay just shows up and she's like, "Alright, born this way, I win." That'd be awesome.
What's this calamity? Explain to me what calamity is.
unfortunately, there's only really two ways that it can go: where Kay shows up and wins, or Kay shows up and fucking dies.
That'd be sad.
I don't want her to die.
That would be like Diamond is Unbreakable, where you introduce a character and then kill him in the next chapter. Except the opposite, where you introduce a character, do nothing, and then kill them.
Kakyoin shows back up and loses immediately in a video game.
Oh my
And dies.
god,
Yeah.
true!
Like, he lost and then died the chapter after he lost.
What if Kay in the next chapter is like, when I look into my born this way, I think back to my sad childhood.
Like, okay, like, imagine part 5. They're at the Coliseum. They're having their stand up. Fugo shows up with purple haze, and then Diablo just gets behind him and donuts him immediately. Like, imagine that.
Oh man, I could imagine that. That would suck. I think that's another reason people don't like part 5 is that it's going way back to this, by the way. Is that I think it's also one of the parts that are most guilty of like expectations clouding your actual like feelings towards it. Like with Fugo, a lot of people are like, okay, but when is he coming back? Like he's gonna come back, save the day, just like Kakyoin.
Well, you gotta be like, you gotta read the light novel.
Gotta read Purple Haze feedback.
I mean, it's good. I will say Purple Haze feedback's pretty good.
Read one of the 2 light novels with different continuity.
And every time I introduce one of my friends to JoJo, I gotta go like, every time I watch that episode with them, or read that chapter with them, I go, he doesn't. Like, and I gotta explain, like, Araki was in a really bad place at the time. And, like,
How do you feel about things like that? Because, like, this is something that I think is kind of an interesting idea. It's not, like, a spoiler, because, like, I mean, it is a spoiler. So, like, say you watch that episode with your friend, and then it's like, oh, Fugo is gonna come back, I guess. Like, is it worth, like, telling them, like, okay, don't get your hopes up.
I
He's
think
not
it
coming
is.
back.
I think it is. That way you don't have them, like, there are situations where, like, it's a really good thing to, like, have your expectation completely subverted.
Well,
It's another thing when it's just, like, I will say, even now, I do think, like, it does seem weird that, like, it just ends there. So in situations where it's applicable, you gotta, like, pull them aside and go, like, hey, just don't expect much. Like, I'm not saying this to, like, really hype you up. And honestly, you should say it when there is a plot twist, because that can throw them off the trail. You go, like, hey, I know you like Kakyoin, but actually he just doesn't come back after that, so just don't get your hopes up.
No, well, if they're saying, oh, it's Fugo back, you say, yeah, he comes back in Rolling Stones at the very end.
So it's not technically a lie, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because, like, especially when I'm watching something, or I'm talking with someone who's watching something that I've already watched, I'm always very afraid to spoil anything accidentally, because I hate spoilers, and I try my hardest to never, ever spoil anyone. Like, recently, I just caught up with The Mandalorian, and there was so much shit that got spoiled for me. I was so
everybody
mad.
just shows everything from that. I never watched Mandalorian, but
People
like,
are
I
such
saw
dicks.
stuff easily.
Like, damn, I didn't want to know that Obi-Wan Kenobi shows up and sucks Boba Fett's penis
In the Sarlacc pit.
in the Sarlacc pit.
That's crazy if true.
No, I'm kidding. None of those characters are in The Mandalorian.
The Sarlacc pit,
I see
no.
what
The Sarlacc pit actually does show up. He gets his
Oh.
whole episode.
His origins.
He
And
has
actually,
a conversation with
Disney is just
Django.
trying to spark like a spin-off series called Mr. Sarlacc, where he like goes home like to his wife and kids. He's just like, "Honey, I'm home."
And the cloud of roars and cheers.
But yeah, no. We stand Sarlacc pit. I think Sarlacc pit actually just got his own TV series announced by Disney.
Yeah. Yeah, he comes a
Disney-
Jedi. He comes the first, like, 8 lightsaber-wielding Jedi.
Yeah, Disney was trying to like uproot like the Game Awards and Sephiroth and Smash by having their press conference at the exact same day.
They just announced a bunch of stuff, had trailers for a bunch of stuff.
Like I did a live stream, which I'm probably gonna take down because it sucks. With a couple of my friends on the project, and we were just reacting to what was happening. And literally, like during the entire stream, one of them like had their phone up, and they're like, "Oh, what's this? This person's getting their own spin-off show?" And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm watching commercials right now during the Video Game Awards. That's why you watch the Video Game Awards.
Yeah.
Cause I watched the Video Game Awards like on my break, and like, okay, I saw the Sephiroth trailer, cool. Then I think, oh yeah, here's a Loki trailer. Here's Owen Wilson with white hair and Loki's B.D. Cooper. I'm like, okay.
Oh, when you said Owen Wilson with white hair, I was expecting there to be like some sort of
Owen
like
Wilson, Mr.
Devil May Cry.
No, Mr. Wow himself, just like, it doesn't look like Owen Wilson.
I was feeling big doomer energy that day because like seeing all these games and just like not feeling anything for them and just getting like really bitter. Because I started live tweeting the Game Awards at first, and then I was like, I'm just being too negative, and I don't want to just put this negativity out there. But I also feel the same way about all these fucking Disney reveals. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot fucking I don't have any more like emotions in my body to be excited for some fucking
20,000 Star Wars series and Marvel series are coming out.
Yeah, like if I had been like if I was a middle schooler right now, and if I was especially like knowing myself in middle school, if The Mandalorian had come out then, I would be like so hyper obsessed with it. It would hit me like right in the right place. But now as like a cynical adult, I just look at Star Wars and I just feel like nothing. I feel absolutely nothing.
Well, that's what really interests me, is that like I'm really wondering, like specifically with Marvel, I'm wondering who the demographic is now, because when we were kids and like superhero movies and the Marvel universe was just starting, like I think I was like 10 or 9 or something like that, and you guys, I don't know how old you guys are, but you guys were probably in that ballpark, right?
Yeah, wait, sorry, when
We were,
like
like,
when
low
the
teens.
prequels were coming out? What do you mean?
No, like when the MCU was starting. I'm talking about
Iron Man
Marvel.
1.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, fuck. That was what, 2008?
I was
Yeah, 2008.
Starting high school. I was like middle school, starting high school then.
Oh, okay. So you were a kid.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And then like we got to grow, and like we were the demographic. We grew up with it, and we were able to see like, oh wow. And then Endgame happened, and it kind of ended.
Yeah.
We've kind of run out of energy. Like no one really cares about Marvel anymore, except like the new Spider-Man. That's it for me. And
Yeah,
now I'm
just for the
wondering,
casting
and now
alone.
the new kids, like people who were 10 or just starting high school now, what are they getting? Do they have like the same enjoyment out of Marvel as we did?
Well, yeah, here's the answer to your question of like who are these Star Wars movies for? And the answer I've learned in this past week is TikTok Zoomers. The TikTok Zoomers like love Star Wars so fucking much, and like
not Star Wars. I'm talking about Marvel specifically.
Oh, okay. I thought you asked about Star Wars at first, but I would probably say it's probably the same group. Like, I really see it more with Star Wars, where like there's all these kids doing these fucking like Star Wars reveal, like Star Wars dances, and like I'm actually Kylo Ren. Like they seem to fucking love Kylo Ren, which I find very funny.
I think it's because they were like 13-year-old girls when the first new Star Wars came out, or something like that.
And he's like a sad boy. He's like a big sad boy. Relatable.
Remember
I think the Marvel movies,
remember
like,
the Onceler? Sorry, I had to dig up that, but like I just remembered that, and I wanted to share that.
Delete.
Okay. Okay.
Were you gonna say Sam?
I was like, I forget actually.
About Marvel. So,
I forget.
so yeah, with Marvel, and I think the pandemic really has just like put a full stop on like Marvel's kind of momentum, because like
That's
for
right.
all movies to be the one that gets delayed, it's like the one that I feel like almost nobody has hype for.
Black Widow, The Eternals.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I'll still check these movies out, but
See,
like
the one I want to check out the most are like the James Gunn one or Taika Waititi one.
yeah.
It's
Or
Oh, the new
director.
Thor.
Someone-
I'll be the first person in line for the new Thor.
all right.
Especially after watching the What We Do in the Shadows show, like I want to like just watch more stuff from him.
I
Yeah,
will
Taika
say
Waititi's a
these-
master.
I've seen this comparison drawn a lot, and I really like it now, where people say that these new Star Wars movies or these new Marvel movies and Star Wars movies, they've always kind of been a bit of junk food, you know?
Oh sure, yeah.
Like, you love a Snickers when, like, you can.
I remember
I gotta go real
watching Rise of Skywalker the
Can
first
this wait?
time. I was
Can
like
this please
messaging
wait?
my
I'm gonna
Jim,
figure
my other
something
friend,
out.
and I was literally like cracking up of like half the stuff that was like
I'll be there.
revealed or like the pacing of it. I was like, this is like ridiculous. Like there's a jar of Snokes just like in the first shot of this movie.
It's very upsetting. It's just very upsetting to see how Star Wars has gone from like the first movie is just like this really wonderful like homage to all of these things the guy liked, and then everything since then has just been like we need to
Now-
build a franchise off the skeleton of this
Yeah, now
movie
this
from the 70s.
this character that spawned from this spin-off show to the prequels to the original series is getting her own original series on Disney Plus streaming
'Cause
service.
Just like the MCU, they have to use Jon Favreau to like
Yeah.
fix their like, franchises.
Honestly, yeah. And like Jon Favreau, I know everyone loves to make fun of him for Chef,
I love
but
his food truck.
like The Mandalorian is pretty good. Like I really enjoy it. The currently the newest episode out, which is like episode 7 of season 2, was like literally the greatest Star Wars thing I've seen. Period. I think like I care more about this TV show than like any of the movies anymore. Like I just, especially the newer movies.
Well,
But
Revenge of the
it's
Sith is hands down the best thing to come from Star Wars.
is this sarcasm or is this real?
I am genuinely serious. It is the only one I have fun watching.
Because that's the thing. Like I've seen this so much lately, and like there's so I think our age demographic, and like by that I mean you and Extension, because we're a couple years apart, have like so much nostalgia for the prequels that they like just love the prequel. And like
No, I hate the 1 and 2. I think the third one, Revenge of the Sith, is the only good one. And I think it's so fun. It's bad. I recognize it's bad, but it is so fun. I cannot describe. You have
I'll
Order
agree it's fun.
66. You have General Grievous.
hello there.
You have a 30-minute lightsaber fight on top of a lava planet.
I had the high ground.
There is so much in this on-screen genocide. You have so much in this movie.
The younglings.
The younglings. You have
The best-
so much.
My biggest Star Wars prequel memory here is just like, the games that came out, and the games like
Yes.
made me love Star Wars more than actual movies did. Like Battlefront 2, even as the episode 3, the game was fucking awesome. And then
Oh, I love that game.
I even loved the first Force Unleashed and like Rogue Squadron on GameCube. I loved
Yeah, for me, what really like my love in Star Wars really came from the video games, and like because of that, there is so much ridiculously unimportant knowledge of character names, species names, ship names that is so deep inside my brain it will never go away. So when I watch Mandalorian, I'm like, oh yeah, of course, this character's from that, and like this character's from that, and it's like I wish I didn't have all of this space in my brain taken up by useless nonsense.
oh yeah.
But the one thing you were saying, like the one character who's getting her own series, Ashoka, I think.
Ahsoka.
Like
Yep.
Ahsoka, like, do people care about this character? Like, I know she's a cartoon only.
Yeah, people love her. She's like appeared on a bunch of like the Clone Wars stuff. Like her and like Captain Rex, I think, is the character from Clone Wars that people really like that actually pop up a lot.
I was just shocked to see like people caring so much about this like cartoon. Like, it really just shows how like Star Wars really has affected people like in ways you wouldn't expect. Like us getting really into it through video games. Another generation who were probably kids when we were in high school, like younger kids, they probably got into like the cartoons and stuff. And
I'm pretty sure what's it called? Clone Wars is why Darth Maul is able to walk around again. That whole
was
idea.
that in the I don't know if that was in like the CG one, because I remember when I was younger, like the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars cartoon, the 2D one
I was gonna tell you
came
not
out.
canon.
Well, I don't give a shit. It's fucking rad.
I know it had
it-
the Kit Fisto episode, who's like the best Jedi.
I would say that prior to the Mandalorian, the Clone War like short series was probably the best thing to come out of Star Wars. But now the Mandalorian to me is like, oh, this is just more interesting and better than Star Wars, like the mainline series.
Yeah.
And before season 3 is just like the worst trash, and it just totally jumps the shark.
I haven't seen the show, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just
we were talking about
perverting
Yu-Gi-Oh! You get to talk about Star Wars.
Yeah. You're talking
That's the
about
thing,
Hunter
though.
Now.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, that was like teased fucking forever ago.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh Sam, this can be a little informal update. How far are you along in reading Hunter x Hunter?
Wait, how caught up are you, Schroder?
Schroder.
I've read a little bit. I've watched the entire anime though.
So you okay?
I've
maybe
got-
we won't
so
go
I'm-
into any spoilers then.
I'm gone to
I'm
the-
glad we've established this now, because if we were going to go start talking about Hunter x Hunter, I would have mentioned some of the last stuff that happened. So I'm glad. Where are you?
I've gotten to the hype fight and finished the hype fight.
So post anime. So you're talking about like the what's it called? The fucking
The fight that
Succession
happened in
War
heaven.
arc.
Yeah.
Oh.
When the six.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've gotten that far.
So No, I stopped after reading Crollo versus Hisoka.
Okay, that's where I'm at. That's where I
Yeah,
stopped.
that's what we're talking about.
I stopped there because I didn't
It's-
like reading Hunter x Hunter. So
Oh. That fight was so fucking good. Like I was
It's like one of the coolest things in Hunter x Hunter.
I like the ending a lot. Oh my god, the ending with like,
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's
I'm
just
not
say...
gonna I'm not gonna spoil it, but like
Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I got to the
but I'm gonna say
aftermath
when
of
that
that fight.
guy does that thing, and you're like, what?
I
That
got to
was
that.
cool. Yeah.
I got to that.
It's fucking crazy.
it's
I can't
dope.
believe how Togashi keeps things fresh so much. Like 350 chapters into his series.
For me, I think Hunter x Hunter, even though I am not Togashi, I kind of understand where he was trying to go with it, and I think we only saw 1/3 of like the full Hunter x Hunter story. Because here's my thing.
We're still on a boat.
The first third of Hunter x Hunter was about exploring the world and like eventually meeting Jing,
Right.
with Gon. It's a story about Gon meeting his dad and exploring the world. And you have Chimera Ant that kind of
And
ends
the friends
that.
along the way.
And then it ends with this introduction of the Dark Continent. And so I think what would have happened is that the second third would have been all about exploring the Dark Continent. And my theory was that Gon is extremely powerful, and I don't think that's just because of Jing. Maybe his mom was from the Dark Continent. Maybe. We don't know who his mom is.
Big mystery. Who is Gon's mom? We
Maybe.
don't know.
Yeah,
I
like...
mean, we had that
you
tease
had
of like his family.
Because
being
my
connected
my
there.
thing is that we already met someone who was from the Dark Continent with Killua's sister, brother. I never
Alaka.
really... Is it sister or brother? I never understood that.
So
It's a brother that identifies as
Sister.
a
Okay,
girl.
cool.
yeah.
So
yeah.
So
and no one
his
no one
sister-
acknowledges it except Killua. Killua's the only one that acknowledges Nanika and Alaka as a female.
Got it. So Killua's sister is like someone who is born in the world but is from the Dark Continent. So I think Gon's mother, like that's like a way of foreshadowing that Gon's mother might have been the same thing. And then the last third would have been like a new thing. That's my theory of what Hunter x Hunter would have been as a whole if it kept going.
Yeah, currently it's
I
on
mean,
a two. We've hit 2 years of there being no new chapter updates. Just in
Chainsaw Man
November.
had started and ended in the hiatus.
Yes.
So-
Sad.
I'm,
I just am. It sucks because like I love the series so much. I think the current arc is a little. I'm not as super into it, and maybe it's not really hit its like apex yet. But it sucks that Togashi is in the condition that he's in. I really feel so bad because you can tell that he really loves his stories, and otherwise I feel like he would just have someone else do it for him
Yeah.
if he didn't care about it so much.
I love referring to the one page where it's like there's 2 drawings in the top 2 panels and then it's just a wall of text. And like
Yeah.
I feel so bad for Takashi. I don't there are people out there who are like spoiled and they like spoiled brats and they think like, "Oh, he's just lazy playing Dragon Quest." Like, no, I believe that he's an injured like
hate
he
it.
has like injuries and stuff like that and health
Yeah.
conditions that are getting in his way.
Debilitating back
he
injury.
probably saw the reaction to the chapter and just like saying, "I can't put it out like this."
Because what he's started to do, from my knowledge, is he knows that he can't keep putting it out consistently on a weekly basis. So he makes enough at a time where he's able to release it weekly for like however it's like 7 weeks or so that he has enough for like one new tankobon or like I think we'd call it like a trade paperback, one like new volume to be compiled. So that seems like how he's been operating in the past. I guess we should say like few years. So who knows? Anytime now he could come out with a couple new chapters. It just is a bummer.
I mean, Berserk is coming back more, and
Speaking of so you mentioned the whole thing about like people saying Otogashi's lazy because he only plays a Dragon Quest, whatever.
Yeah.
There's this whole meme that the writer of Berserk is like only plays Idolmaster, and that's why he doesn't do it. And it's like that's one of those like
Please
it's
tell
a
me it was
very
confirmed.
What?
Please tell me it was confirmed because that would be
No,
funny. Oh.
it's one of the classic like JoJo rumors that everyone thinks is real, and it's just totally like
Oh.
a made up lie. And it just these things make me so mad when people just like they adopt a lie as truth. So yeah, no, he don't play Idolmaster.
Here's the thing, if we're talking about like mangakas going through like old age and tying it all back, if we're gonna be looking at Araki, he's getting old, and like JoJolion.
not showing it.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
his years are going up, but
Yeah.
his face is going down.
JoJolion's gonna end eventually, and he's like what, rocking like his 60s now?
He's getting there.
He's
I mean, he's been doing JoJo for what, 30 years? They just had the 30-year anniversary recently, I think.
Something around there.
My question is like, maybe like what's gonna end up happening is that like part 9 is gonna like go halfway, and then like it's either part 9 is gonna be like Dragon Ball Super, where it's just like an anime only sort of thing, or part 9 is just gonna be like done halfway, and then the anime just kind of jumps to the end.
It'd be like reverse Boruto, where like they'll have someone new do the story for the first half, then the original creator, after his new manga fails, comes back and do it.
Oh yeah, too. Just to not correct, but follow up. He is 60 years old. Araki turned 60 this year.
Yeah, I know he loves his work, but like eventually you have to just like throw in the towel and just go like, hey, I want to retire.
I think
You know
it's
what?
very likely that he doesn't make a part 9. I think there's like all these theories that I think are just like really baseless, where people are like, oh well, JoJo's got to be like 3 trilogies. Like we have like the first parts 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. And I don't think that there doesn't need to be any trilogy. I think JoJolion would be like a very natural ending to the series.
I mean, you can always do part 9 just being a shorter part in general compared to like everything
Yeah,
else.
that too. That could be it.
I mean, I would love for part 9 to exist. Don't get me wrong, but
I just
I'm
like
not.
the
I'm
number
not holding my
9.
hopes out.
I like the number 9, which is why I'm saying I want part 9.
Hey, Mighty Number 9. I mean,
Oh,
classic
well,
game.
now you've raised a great point. Maybe we peaked at JoJolion. Let's.
No.
It's just in, Araki wants to put all his effort towards more live-action Rohan series, so...
Could you imagine? Could you imagine just like JoJolion ends and we're all like curious and he goes like, yeah, I'm just gonna work on the Spoke Rohan Kishibe until I retire. So all right, now that we're all on the same page, here's the new.
Here's the manga version of George Joestar.
I would be down for Rocky to do anything new too. Like if he wants to step away from
Bow
JoJo and do
2.
something new. No, new.
Diesel
I would be so
2.
rad. Okay,
It's-
Diesel. Now we're talking.
That's interesting. Like I know that like he was like Steel Ball Run in the new universe like was his way of getting away from it all, but now he has created a new universe.
And
And
brought him back in.
so like that's why I'm interested. Like I can tell that the reason JoJolion and Steel Ball Run are very disconnected is because he didn't want to limit himself to like a continuity or something like that. To like
Mm-hmm.
he like that way it's a very loose connection that he only had to like go in one chapter and just say like, oh, here's the tie back. So I'm really curious, like, if there is a part 9, will it just be completely disconnected once again from Steel Ball Run and JoJolion? That'd be cool.
It would be really interesting. And to go back to Star Wars, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
I'm ready to go to a galaxy far, far away.
No, we really are overdue for a future JoJo part. I would love for there to be a JoJo part set in the far future, just to see what kind of characters Araki would write there. Like,
I just want
It'd be interesting.
Backstreet Boy.
I want a cyberpunk JoJo setting, please.
What
Here's
if?
my stand
What if?
called Grimes.
What if there was a stand that was a Yu-Gi-Oh deck? I'm
It was
brimming with
freaking
ideas
epic
right now.
deck.
Then in their character in the character in Party that has cards as her stand.
Shoot! God damn it! Araki beat me to everything.
She has a heart of the cards.
I love Rocky, but I'm like
She
I'm cool with JoJolion being the end, but at the same time, like there would be like that little bit of me that says like I want him to like end JoJo, not just like have it stop. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, that's
and
'cause to
a
me,
bit
like-
greedy on my part, but it's just I want to see his work have a conclusion.
It's gonna be bittersweet.
Yes, that's it.
To me, JoJolion kind of does feel almost like a greatest hits. Like, it's a very comfortable setting for Araki. Like, I know that he said in the past like Josuke is his favorite protagonist, and like having him bring back a Josuke and do something new with it feels to me like it could be like
And Morio.
yeah, and Morio as well, like a very personal setting to him because I think he based Morio off his like his own
Sendai.
like child
It's been
like yeah Sendai yeah. So it's just I don't know. Like I could see this as being like his kind of last hurrah. Like, all right, I've done all these crazy stories. Now it's time for me to kind of do another crazy one, but
Or yeah, or
do it in
even
like a
like
familiar place.
after part 8, he just like released a bunch of like short like in universe JoJo stories, like different characters, like not even like 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 4-part like mini series, more like how comics have
Yeah.
a
Like an
mini series.
anthology almost. That would be really
Yeah.
rad.
That's why I think like the best possible end
That's
for
not
JoJo
Rohan.
that I keep bringing up is that JoJolion stops. That's the end of the JoJo manga, and then David Productions, just to complete like a story for the new universe, just makes their own part 9 by consulting Araki and like getting character designs from Araki. And
I mean, Araki did
I
that for
would.
light novels where he just like signed off on them and did like art for them.
yeah, that's what I think a anime part 9 is going to be. It'll be soft canon, like Dragon Ball Super. Or
I think
I'm not a Dragon
I
Ball
would.
fan, so I don't really know what I'm talking about there.
I would hate this so much. I would be so vehemently against an
I mean,
anime original part of JoJo.
After
Well,
seeing how
I'd
Dragon Ball
kinda
Super
like it.
goes, I'd be a little worried, and Boruto to an extent.
We'd
I
get
just don't trust I don't trust an anime studio to be able to come up with like an original continuation of a story. Like I just can't think of a time that's happened and it's been good.
I think David Productions is close. When you look at their original characters that they make for like the JoJo escape rooms, like Digimaker and the one creepy looking dude for the part 5 escape room, they look like JoJo characters, but like it's just a little bit off. And I feel like if there's anything realistic, it's kind of assuming for the worst in the sense that we're gonna get a part 9, but it'll just be a little bit off.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
happen.
sounds like a nightmare scenario. Personally,
It'll have fan service, and we're all gonna be like, yeah, that's
I clapped. I clapped when I saw JoJo with his funny fucking yo-yo attack from part 2.
And then they'll appear in Jump Force 5, get Fighting Game of the Year. You know.
Jump
Damn.
Force, the Smash Brothers killer. Am I right, guys?
Things just look worse the more I think about the future.
It's hey, the only way to wait, see what happens in the future is to wait. I kind of butchered that by saying the word "wait" in the middle of that sentence by accident.
Fine.
The only way to wait is to wait.
I do that so many. I am so bad at speaking. It's a miracle that I'm doing fan dubs.
Hey, you get multiple attempts with that.
Yeah.
Unlike here, where it's live, baby.
It's live. We're doing it live. Is there anything else we want to touch base on? Because we have been going at this for 2 hours now.
No, I think there were some pretty fun discussions. I think this would be a good time to wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Well, I will say thank you guys so much for having me on the call. I will no longer be hassling you on Twitter.
For at least a month.
Yeah, for the audience, watched. If you haven't read Steel Ball Run and you've been meaning to start it, or you read Steel Ball Run and you want to view it in like this new light, Volume 2 of Project SBR is coming soon, and if you look into the link in the description, I'll see if I can get that Egg Witch episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX to be put there for Jokakaka.
We would do a live watch of it.
No, well, maybe I
No.
would do a live watch of it, but it would just be me making jokes that aren't funny, so...
I'll watch it with you.
I have actually really been thinking about doing a commentary track for something. I think that'd be a lot of fun to put out there, but I don't know what I would do it for, so.
Well, we'll make you watch an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and get your honest opinion afterwards.
After the Egg Witch episode... I can't believe I just kind of spoiled the Egg Witch episode, though. I don't think there's
I don't know.
anything as...
I'll never watch
I
it.
don't think there's anything nearly
never
as
remember.
good as the Egg Witch episode.
Moki.
Speaking of egg witches, your boy's hungry.
Yeah, your boy's hungry too. I skipped breakfast for this.
All right, so we have some plugs for Project SBR. Check that out.
guess-
Sam, do you want to plug us up?
Yes. Thank you everybody for listening. If you made it this far, leave a comment on who you think which mascot could win in a fight on an island, big battle royale.
It's got to be
That's your
Mr.
question.
Clean. It's got to be Mr. Clean.
He's
guys.
not a genie! He's
But
not!
his muscles speak for themselves.
Now are you, now Jim, are you gonna sing the signature ending jingle to Jokakaka, like the little song? Are you gonna sing it?
Well, our
After my
ending,
plugs.
our ending jingle is just the instrumental version, but
You know,
no.
What about the vocal rendition? I swear that's iconic.
our-
That's like in every episode, right? Can't be a
It's our theme song.
It can't be a BROKAKAKA if you don't have Jokakaka himself singing. Yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah, he'll.
Yeah, you are Mr. Jim Jokakaka.
I am Mr. Jim Jokakaka.
The-
Well, if you eagle-eared listeners will notice that when we went to break, I played a little bit of the Jokakaka jingle there. So hell yeah.
all right, weasel out of this one. Okay.
I can't.
so,
my
Man,
voice is
ending
shot
a
right now.
podcast is hard. Do we just like hard cut right here?
Wait, did we plug everything?
Yeah, we did. So
No, I did not.
Sam didn't plug yet.
Oh,
plug,
did
Sam,
not.
plug.
I swear he did.
God
okay.
damn it.
Whoops.
I said one
Cringe.
plug. I didn't say all the plugs.
I'm
said,
sorry. I don't know
you
how this
follow
works.
each and-
Just like in the
Fine.
beginning of Carrie, plug it up, Sam. Plug it up.
You are stopping me from plugging, and I am very upset. Please follow each and one of us in the podcast on Twitter, and join the Discord, and yeah, I think that's it. I think that's
Awesome.
all the plugs now. You guys can interrupt me now.
All right.
Now hard cut.
Thank
Let's hard
you.
cut now. Oh no! We
Thank
gotta
you
thank
again,
the
Schroeder,
audience.
for coming on. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. We had a great time.
Definitely, probably do some stuff in the future. I really like the idea of having more like specialized episodes for BROKAKAKA in the future, because right now we just kind of have a guest on and talk about them and random shit. But I really want to do like a Danganronpa
us dueling on you.
episode.
Oh, and
Hey, you could do a dueling episode if you want. You could do a live
I
stream
have,
duel. That'd be
I have a
fun.
massive respect for podcasts now. More so ending a podcast. Because I said, how are you guys still going? This ending has been going on for a minute. Maybe that's my fault
Well,
because I
that's-
keep rambling.
No, it's part of the
charm.
thing. You have this like winding down sort of thing. Like, we're just kind of chilling out. The theme song's gonna kick in soon. Probably already has. All right, let's do this. Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye.